I almost googled Omni General. What did I expect to come up? Omni General, where are you? You did show me the tier list, and I want to have some discussion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't disagree with you. I just want to hear your verbal reasoning.
Oh, good.
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed that Guardy is tier 1.
What do you mean?
No, I'm very happy Guardy is
You
tier
love
1.
Guardy.
I'm very happy Guardy is tier 1, because you know what that means. Why is PCJ closed again? You know what that means. That means we're going to be getting some Pinkums out for another regional.
Give
I
me an
wonder how
excuse,
many...
I dare you.
I wonder how many regionals I've played Pinks at. Oh dear.
Pinks. Good old
Fairy gang.
Pinks.
Literal fairy gang. Oh dear. So is this Zorro Weavile without the good cards?
Hmm?
Without the tails?
Yeah.
With only one tail per Zoroark rather than 9 tails per fox.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Lady Oshawott, is that Adam's wife?
No idea. I don't know if I can win this game. Oh yeah, I can. Nailed it. Cheers, Ditto.
Cheers, Ditto.
I did embarrass myself by making this list with Elms and 70 hit point Sneasels.
Oh.
That's very embarrassing. Let's change that quickly.
That's fine if you're only playing a 1-1 line like I did. You are, right?
No.
Ah. Well, in that case.
Playing 3 instead.
Oh, look at that cheeky little slug. I'm
He's
still good, guys. Don't forget about me.
Right, I should actually build the Bulu list. Okay.
Bulu gang.
The list. As if I've planned it.
So Bulu gang is Baby Bulu, right? What does Baby Bulu do?
I don't know.
It doesn't one-shot things, I'll tell you that, but absolutely diddly squat. Actually, it probably does. I don't know what it does. So I want 3 Zoroarks for 9 tails. But then I can't play Zoro tails. Joe, Ross, what's wrong with Alolan Raticate right now?
What's it do?
Exactly. Hmm.
Little sis, how's it going?
Hello.
Please confirm or deny my message for payment today. RIP wallet. I'll have to check my PayPal later. Because Tim is staying with us. Farragut. Poggers.
Poggers. Does your deck have an answer to Meganium slacking Greninja?
Doesn't it always? Gandhi7 with the sub.
Hey, the sub.
Thank you so much for congratulating me on my cup.
Damn, that's 9 months in a row. That means we've had subs for nearly a year.
Incredible. I'm just putting in all the counts of cards that I want to have, and we'll work on the real counts later.
We'll work on the whole 60 cards per deck rule thing.
Telly Death as well. Thank you for the sub. That's insane. Thank you so much. Enjoy your little gym jam, you
Double
champion.
Yeah, we'll work on that. Work on that silly 60 cards per deck rule later.
Guys, Zora Weavile loses to Blacephalon. Does it? You've got a lot of ways to kill them in response.
Heavy Tortoise, welcome.
Wow, I have everything I need, but oh no, I don't.
What does the deck gain from this?
Netball.
Nectar Ball.
Which is actually a good card, to be fair.
Mm.
I don't even know what old Bulu lists look like. When was the last time someone actually played Bulu? Hello? Anyone? I did a top tier tweaks video. Let me check that. It wasn't in the top tier bit, it was in the wild card bit. And I remember distinctly having spaces for order pads, so
Something has gone wrong. You got too many good cards in here. That's the issue, Joe.
yeah. Want to maximise our memes. I mean odds.
Odds.
Let me see what I was doing. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we had all of these cards. We had one less of this. And then we had two less of this. Get more order pads in, I reckon. I only played a 3-3 Vikavolt. Let's go 403.
I was going to say
304.
Oh,
I played a Rangaroo. Of course I did. I'm not going to play Guru in this build. What?
That was half genuine. Me coughing there was half genuine. I have a bit of a cough, but also you're not playing Guru? Huh? He's not feeling okay, guys.
You should probably still play some amount of Nest Balls because of Zeraora. Two order pads. We can play Stretcher instead of, you know, let's do some funky stuff. Stretcher, third order pad, correct. Good. So, a friend messaged me today and said, Joe, Vikavolt the play this weekend. Not this weekend, Harrogate. So I've dedicated this entire stream to proving him wrong.
It's a win-win. You either prove him wrong or win Harrogate.
Yeah.
Busted.
You played against the Greninja Meganium Swampert meme deck last night. I was really lucky I was playing Guardian, could roll successive one-shots on Meganiums. That deck is very interesting. For sure. Very cool. Have you seen it, Jack? The one Super Boost Energy deck?
I've heard about it. I've refused to watch any videos on it.
Yeah.
But
so it's Swampert Meganium with Greninja GX as the main attacker that you cycle.
You just shuffle him back in.
Shuffle him back in. Yeah.
Okay. Protect your energy. Okay. Ability lock. Good. Meganium engine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh look, it's still just normal Bulu. That's weird, isn't it? Here's a twist. Who saw this coming?
So you're telling me that nothing has changed?
No, surely not. Surely it's not the same deck that it's always been. No. Where's Sean?
No, don't tell me it was him.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm messaging him. If that kid doesn't play Zoro out of Harrogate, I think I might block him on Facebook.
Kid. He's a whole foot taller than you.
That's not even a lie.
He's a clean foot taller than you. Kid. Hey, kid.
He's also Zoroark kid though, so if he doesn't play Zoroark, he's
There
a
he is.
Here he is. There's the kid.
Just at the space. Yes. Oh, have I,
Welcome, Sean. Welcome.
This is for you, buddy.
I don't understand. He messages you the play for Harrogate. He just messages me maths problems.
Bulu is busted. Tell me why. Give me one good reason why.
One good reason why I should shut this stream down. Zoroark fanboys. I've really been enjoying Zoroark lately, to be fair. Chelsea, hello. I want to draw some cards in Harrogate. Jackie wouldn't appreciate it, to be fair.
Oh, Doomsday also subbing. Thank you so much.
Sub, Doomsday.
9 months of Jim Jam.
If I'm honest, I wouldn't really appreciate you sending me the message Budo is the play for Harrogate, so this time you made the correct decision. Where are your energy on, Joe?
What?
There was only 2 lightnings in there, wasn't there?
Prized a few. If you're wondering. Fortunately, I don't have to discard them in this matchup.
No.
No, Joe, Volkner is too consistent. You need to high roll. I'm playing 3 order pads. Telling me I need to high roll? Now I'm 75% more inclined to ignore Sean whenever he opens his mouth. Correct. What I love about Sean is he messages me all the time saying, like, when he sees a result and it's like one of the many decks he's told me about, he's like, see, I told you. And then I'm like, what about everything else?
What about the other 7 decks in top 8?
No, not the 7 decks of top 8. What about everything else that he told me was the play?
Oh, I see. I told you deck 14 was the good one. God, Joe.
No one ever listens to me.
You'd have known it was the good one because I used 2 capitals in that sentence rather than 1.
I was joking about the others. That was the serious one.
Messages about the full stops at the end. You could tell I was just joking.
Yeah.
I still don't have Ninetales online. This is awkward.
Sick win.
Deck's busted.
4 more days until Smash. Oh, yes.
Get it on release day?
Oh, well, I did ask for it for Christmas. But
Christmas is a lot longer than 4 days away. And we have an event in between then where Smash could be played.
But I do want to do well at Harrogate. That's the real problem. That's the problem here. There's a Hearthstone expansion and Smash coming out.
Oh, we've had it.
Rip CP. See, Joe, the deck is busted. Beat a 1 prize attacker deck. They got exactly 1 Trumbeak in the lost zone. Who needs CP when you have Smash? Good point. Who needs CP when you're number 1 in the UK already? Dab.
You actually? Hey.
I'm 3 points ahead of Luke and he hates it.
Oh, excellent. Busted player, really. Why are you better than that Luke Kirkham guy?
Which character am I made for Harrogate? That's a great one. Pikachu, I guess. 10 bits for the Bulu gang. Cheers, Sean.
Bulu gang, Bulu gang.
Look at this clean 304 Grommen line. Wonderful.
Oh, I know you're serious.
3 or 4 lines of cut before. Oh no, he's
They
done the
have.
thing and the stuff.
Morehouse loves his 304 lines.
Yeah, it's busted. Top deck order pad, please. Are you playing netball? Yeah, I'm playing 2 of each. I still play 2 nests, I think, because of Zera Aura and Lugia. Oh, we actually top decked order pad. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da, heads. Embarrassing. See you later. Oh no. Look at Bulu now. See you later. Well, that's Vika Bulu.
We're done now,
Good.
right?
One more game. I'll happily change the title.
I'll be more than happy to change the title.
Testing Zoroark.
Anything but Bulu gang.
Testing the good stuff. Doomsday, you're not going to Harrogate? Rip.
That's pretty sad, man. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
When somehow you managed to play a deck worse than the spreadsheet decks. It's funny, I did a... Oh, look at those lucky bits. I need them with stage 2 nonsense. Not even the good stage 2 nonsense. There's so much stage 2 real decks. And yet here I am. Cheers, Benji, for the bits.
Somehow we've found ourselves with Bulu again.
What was I going to say? Yeah, there's part of the OmniPoke general spreadsheet has a tier list. Tier 1, 2, 3, and then tier Joe / tier spreadsheet. And I think I might play one of those decks today. Shall I play the one that I messaged you about, Jack?
Wait. Let me check Facebook because I don't remember what you messaged
The
me.
one with the longest amount of words as a deck name on the OmniPoke spreadsheet.
Oh, that one.
The one that I had to increase the column length.
Yeah, I was going to say the one that didn't quite fit in the box.
Hotel prices were absurd for Harrogate, that's true. We managed to get a reasonable Airbnb, despite being very late.
Ah,
Okay.
that one. Yes, play that one.
Yeah?
Yeah. See, I kind of just looked at tier 1 and 2. I haven't seen tier 3.
Kind of
Zoro,
Go on.
Zoro the rest.
Yeah.
Everything else, Zoro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah, play that one.
Yeah.
We're not Bulu gang, we're gonna be Vika gang, guys. Okay. Vika Vault gang.
Benji, I was the one that actually booked the thing this time. Fact. Mic drop.
Yeah, Joe, change the title to Wakefield Cup Recap and Vika gang.
Ah.
So we're like, oh, Bulu gang, Vika gang, same thing. No.
No, we're going
Even
Wakefield
better.
recap and Z scoop. Get it? Get it?
Oh, yes. I love it. I'm in.
Yes.
I'm so on board.
We're all in.
Are in.
Me especially.
So tell me how... I'm looking at 2 lists here. One of them plays the Elm engine.
Mm-hmm.
They're both Zorro rock lists.
Yeah.
One of them plays the Elm engine,
Yeah.
and somehow has less space than the one that plays the Lily Ball engine and more Pokemon.
Huh.
I don't understand.
That is a puzzle.
This is another reason why I just love Elm over Lily Ball engine. You can actually play other cards. If you're playing Lily Ball engine, that's like a quarter of your deck just setting up, which is good, but Elm does that.
It does.
You're against a Cofagrigus.
Yep.
Mega Guardy for Harrogate?
Zeraora scoop ups. That's the biggest Monka S I've ever heard.
Z-Scoop.
That's actually embarrassing, Sean. Joe just cut consistency cards because I top deck anyway. Good point. Why be consistent when you can top deck everything? I don't normally build stuff that's that inconsistent, right? Guys? Jack, you're being quiet. Help me.
No.
You said Z-Scoop. Oh, no.
Yeah,
no,
that's what he was
no,
referring to.
No.
Not the
It is
Zorro.
much more eyes widening.
Breathing intensifying.
Do you want to clue me in on how we're going to lose this game to Cofagrigus, Jack? Do you want to clue me in on this? Base Fairy Energy. What the?
He fully thinks it's Mega Guardy.
Pokemon Communication Waiting Room. Yep, that's going to be good for the game. No more timables. Man, I was playing 24 Pokemon in my League Cup list, so I could have used Pokemon Communication a lot. Imagine your turn 1 Elm outs with Communications. Poggers!
That's disgusting. Low-key, that's the card I'm the most excited for out of that new set. That's what we were going to do. We were going to look at the new set.
Do that Wednesday. Or today.
Okay.
Should we do it today? Could do it today. I mean, I'm just going to play memes otherwise.
How long do you want to spend looking at?
Right. Let me just quickly change the title to Z-Scoop. In all caps. And build a deck that forces people to scoop because of a Z. A porygon-z. Uh-oh.
Oh, Joe, what have you done? If tonight goes well, we actually have to worry about this in Harrogate. And both of us want to play evolution decks that have 60 HP basic Pokemon.
He's lying.
Buzzrock, go.
Buzzrock.
70 HP Rockruffs, go. He's lying. Don't listen to him, he's lying.
How do we get the damage on board, you say? That's right.
I love that you've left this till the end.
Oh, there's only 70 hit point Grubbins. That's so bad.
I was just thinking that.
We're doing it. Oh, we can play Lily Net plus Brooklet.
Lily Net Nest.
Lily Net Brooklet. So we change these.
So me and Joe had a chat about this deck today. Have you ever defined the answer?
We need one of these as well. Because we just had space. If you're wondering.
$70 HP Pokemon, no problem.
$29 Pokemon, no problem.
How many candy do you want? 8?
3. That's all we need. Do we play timers or greats? We want to have
Greats.
insta plays if we're a Lily list. Yeah. Look at me taking it serious. Embarrassing.
We need a Gladion, Joe. Oh no, we don't. Not anymore.
I don't know if it's right to play energy cards, but we should retreat into Beacon quite a bit, right? That sounds like a thing that we probably should be doing.
Mm-hmm.
We still do need Gladion though. For sure. Maybe the V-Court just sounds wrong.
I actually don't know whether I like the Vikavolt. You're never going to have space for Vikavolt GX and Vikavolt.
So we'll thicken the Porygon. Because we can only Gladion for so much, right? But we do need switch cards.
Yeah, I was going to say we need like 2 switch, I feel.
Ropes. Yes. Obviously. We've got him on the ropes. Let's play some nest balls as well as net balls. Alright, perfect. And that's the deck.
Sounds better than Bulu, though. Yeah.
Let's go for it. Was I not playing Ultra Ball? Give me a second.
You're not playing Ultra Ball. It's fine. Ultra Balls are too painful discards. Trust me, we need every card in this deck.
I feel like I need 4 of these as well. We need to play Ultra Ball so we can get rid of our Giratina. Obviously. Okay. Nailed it.
What do you attack with? You attack once with Vikavolt's GX attack.
Yeah. Or as many times as we want. No one's going to E-hammer it. Or knock out our Vikavolt. Just doesn't happen. Okay.
I said once with Vikavolt's GX attack. What?
Yeah, we can use this other attack. 180.
Discard our only energy in deck.
Yeah, forget.
Lost Zone, our only energy in deck.
Oh, I feel bad. We're up against a friend of the channel, Orlando Brayloom.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's in for.
I have a feeling, looking at the typings I saw, you're going to have some fun, Joe.
He's playing Decidueye. But Wakefield other attack discards the energy. Yeah, but we've done 60 to everything already, and then we porygon-z all their
We've
evolutions.
taken 4 prizes via porygon-z. The last 2 prizes are via other attack.
Let me just remind everyone at home that this is not a serious deck.
He's lying. He made the list just now, but he's already got it built.
Why not play Hydrogen Tina Pory Tails? Because the Meganium means that people can't deal with Porygons. So it would have to have Meganium no matter what.
Look at this hand. There's a Vulpix and a Grubbin down with a Meganium and a Swampert in hand. Mutant Mutant draft.
It's familiar, let's put it that way. Okay. I should actually just play 2 Wakefield GX. That's where I'm going wrong, I think. The only place I'm going wrong. Ultra Wall away, Swampert Super Boost. Oh wait, no.
Oh, we lost. Joe, if we ever get Skull Grunted.
Who would do that? No.
Any of the 17 mil decks that are around right now.
No one wants that to happen. If he knocks out our Vulpix, we could actually win next turn. Unreal. Don't show him the Porygon. We have to not show him the combo. That's the thing. Our hand already has it all.
Adam's in chat and they're probably on call, so...
No. Alright, fine. So now if he doesn't kill the Vulpix, we can go Ninetales switch. I'm not telling him your hand, don't worry, he needs good testing. What were the things I just beaconed for? I just beaconed for...
Swampert Ninetales.
Swampert Ninetales. Yeah, that's just standard stuff, right? That's just... Yeah.
Seen a Vulpix, he's seen a Mudkip, so... I mean, he's also then looking at two Grubbin and a Chikorita on the bench, so he probably knows something whack is going on, but...
The thing is, if he KOs Chikorita, I can still just do the thing.
Yep.
Oh no, he's getting more bench Pokemon. You were discussing the deck before. Incredible. Just don't judge us. This deck surely doesn't play Judge. Surely. Look how many Pokemon in my hand. This is absurd.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Joe.
Joe, what is Z-Scoop? You're about to see. Give it a minute.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want to play this for Harrogate?
Oh, mate. You have no idea.
Off the scale.
Z-Scoopums.
You'd annoy so many people.
Oh, he's got the goose. Does he want our thick gal? Or does he want the mudkip? Yeah, he wants the thickums.
Lol.
Come in thick and fast.
You'll never get a stage 2 down now.
Need the team skull grunt. It's actually a ridiculous high roll that we have the super boost in our hand.
I was just thinking that. You've got so many Pokemon and somehow you found yourself with your 1 boost anyway. That's fine. To be fair, we've got to see it in action, really, haven't we?
If I do that, Swampert can go 190. Oh, I gotta go with this one. That's funny.
This deck is absurd.
Do I charge beam for 50? Nah.
No.
Oh, crumbs. You can do a Porygon. It's probably our worst matchup, actually. Thinking about it now. Despite him having so many 60 hit point Pokemon, it's genuinely our worst matchup. Because he can stop our basics. Oh, he's got an 80 hit point guy. Or any deck that doesn't evolve. Not any deck that doesn't evolve. Not. No, yeah.
I was going to say, I don't know, I don't know where you go with that one. Do you have Stretcher in this list?
Jack, we win turn 2 or we lose. Okay. That's the way this works. Yeah, we can't win.
I've worked out which one this was.
Had to Z-scoop that one, boys. We're doing it for the Twitch clip anyway, so that's fine. Blacephalon. Probably can't beat that. Scoop that one.
Kill me.
Mission failed. We'll get him next time. Yes. Mission failed. We'll get him next time. God, I played way too much Modern Warfare 2. Medi the Lord playing Granbull. They have 70 hit points. Great pick for Harrogate. When did I say that? Plus, I've faced auto loss into auto loss. Think of the auto wins that we have, though, boys.
Every Zorro match ever.
I say go for it, so you play more Smash. Also, we went second as well, so you know, go first. It's over. It's actually over. We literally would win the game if we went first, before he could do anything. Tina's not prized. Poggers. First deck search with this. Just imagine. Which snubble is better? The one that can make a mess, I think, is best. Everyone goes for it. Look at his little head, though. Oh, I couldn't kill it. Doing the Lily for one, so I can get one draw to Ultra Ball away for Meganium. Let's ripen that herb real quick.
Look at this. Look at this.
Now we just need to find that one card of the rest of the 32. Easy. And Giratina to do like one prize. Yep. Sounds good to me. Sounds like we cannot lose.
Hmm.
Two stage 2s in play, still nothing on the board. I'm just doing it for the highlight reel. It's gonna happen, alright? We're gonna see one Gigatron, one full evolve. We'll all applaud. I'll laugh a lot. We'll get 7 likes on Hey Fonte. And we'll call it a day.
7 likes. All this was 7 likes.
The guy can put down Shrine and pass every turn. Hey now. Don't you start.
You're meant to be on the same team as Joe, Benji. Mind you, I can understand why. Why maybe you reconsider.
Top deck the Cynthia. Busted. I at least want to Gigatron just to show that we can. I don't think we can, really. It makes me think that the... I mean, this is obviously worse than the Greninja list, but the concept is the same. It's just the Greninja list can cycle its attacks, and we are literally just trying to win with one attack. Got him.
Did you do it? Did you get it? Did something happen?
I can attack.
Oh. Wait, don't we need more than that in this matchup?
Yeah. But we're just showing the inner workings of the list, really. That's what we're doing.
Can't give too much away before Harrogate.
Show your workings, yeah.
Super Boost was prize, lol.
That's the best place for it, I think.
Probably.
Oh, just bench doesn't even do active? Okay, this is terrible. Okay. That's the end of the game.
And that's the game.
That's the end of Z-Scoop. I forgot I didn't hit the active. That's so bad. So much work. God. So much work. Unreal. We took a prize, boys. Embarrassing. Okay, that can... I'll unstar it, but I won't delete it. Should I have a look at another double stage 2 deck? Where's my list from this weekend? Didn't play that. I played that. Didn't play that. Just played those. What was my last Pokemon card? It was a one of, and it was a max pot. So, I travelled down to Wakefield this weekend. Or yesterday, in fact. Not this weekend, yesterday.
Oh.
And I wanted to play Zoro Desi Tales, because I played it the week before and won a cup with it. And thought it was good enough. But obviously Gardevoir won Roanoke, and that's not really the easiest matchup for you. Also, I faced 2 Buzzwoles. Actually, I faced 3 Buzzwoles in Bexhill, where I won. And Solgaleo would be really good for that. Solgaleo is also insane versus Gramble, and it's also very good against spread decks. So this card is just like, for me, it ticks so many boxes right now. If I'm going to Harrogate and playing stage 2s, this card is at least a 101 line in the deck, because it does so much. No weakness for your guys. Energy acceleration on top of reasonable damage. Prominence is insane, and its typing is good. So I think this guy is just really good. at the moment. He's really good value. So decided to strip back my Decidueye line after pretty much again in the cup. I went to playing this list. I found myself regardless getting like 2 Decidueye out at most because my board was I normally wanted to fill it with Zoroarks myself anyway, so I could just Acerola cycle and do all the normal Zoro stuff. So I decided to trim the Deci line. I felt like it was fine. I tried a list that was just Zoro, Ninetales, Solgaleo with no Decidueye. Wasn't too happy with the Lost March matchup. Wasn't too happy with Blacephalon either. It's weird that you want to put something that's actively weak to fire into play against them, but it is so good at helping you jump B-String that I think it's value. So I think improving your Blacephalon and your Lost March is worth putting in a 202 Decidueye, especially because it's just good late game anyway, because it means that Zoroark can one-shot Lele's on a Guzma with Choice Band. So it's just value to get 1 out a lot of the time, I think. So that's why I was happy enough trimming it, but still having it in the deck. Also, it provides Hollow Hunt to get back important pieces against stuff. So, yeah, that's why I went for a very big mash of cards. What were my matchups? Let me get my phone. Oh, Lord, I have 5%. Here we go. I played Zoro Solgaleo, not quite a mirror match in round 1 because he was playing just Zoroark, no Ninetales, but he played both Solgaleos and Super Boost, so obviously very scary that matchup. He was playing a Lily Nest Ball engine, so he wasn't able to secure many. So he was able to get this Solgaleo out, but whenever he was using Turbo Strike, he was just attaching to Cosmogs. So I was just Guzma killing, back and forth. And that sort of just meant that he fizzled and couldn't get a big attack off against me while I built up my Decidueye in the back and started doing like pings on other stuff to set up, again, Lele's, Zoroarks to help me close the game. Again, and then in game 2, he is able to get the big Daddy Solgaleo out and this Solgaleo. I'm not really able to get much going at all, so he pretty much just sweeps me. So I scoot pretty quickly. And in game 3, he leads Cosmog pass. I led, I can't remember what I led, but I had to retreat into something. I think I had to retreat Beacon. No, did I? No, I was going for KO. So I just attached a basic energy to my active Vulpix, and then turn 2 he Guzma'd and Dust Gathering'd. Couldn't get their KO. He Dust Gatherings, finds a basic or whatever. Or he found a basic, then Dust Gathering'd. Then I'm just Riotous Beating while he was literally just going Dust Gathering. Oh, Nest Ball, okay. Dust Gathering. He put down an unknown hand that he played. Like, he was just hanging on by a thread for like a load of turns, but I was just so far ahead. He eventually found himself a Cynthia and like 4 basics and didn't, and eventually getting to like Zoroark and started trading, but I was already at like 2 prizes to go and was able to close. So quite fortunate to win. Probably the hardest matchup that I faced in the day, just in round 1. Actually, I think my top 4 game was probably the hardest matchup on paper. Round 2, I faced Coco, Weavile spread. I played 2 Acerolas, Max Potion, and Prominence. All of it came in really important. I did prize my Blower in game 1, so Shrine did like 80 to all my guys. But I was trying to stagger my Zoroarks when I could. Still got Solgaleo out, obviously. Still got Decidueye out as well, helping me ping down like Sneasels whilst doing Snowy Wind knockouts and setting up stuff in the back. So I did end up getting lots of GXs into play, which isn't always the right thing to do, but he started like whiffing energy, so I wanted to go aggressive against him, and that sort of worked out. In game 2, Prominence wiped off like 200 damage or something, and I just won. Not 200, like way more than 200 damage actually, like a lot of damage off my board. Like probably at least like 90s on everything because of a Rule of Evil and stuff. Round 3, I face Gramble. Gramble is super routine now that I play Solgaleo. Just get Solgaleo out and I win. In round 4, I face another Gramble, and the same thing happens. So I'm at 4-0, and I can then just double ID, 4-0-2, finish top seed. In top 8, I face Swampert, Decidueye Ninetales, a matchup that could potentially be very awkward. He again is playing a Lily Ball Engine, and it kind of meant that he just couldn't get enough basics down early in game 1, and it meant that I could target down I target down Swampert the first game. He's not able to draw much. The real thing that sort of told was the only thing he was able to attack with was Snowy Wind with like a counter energy. So he was doing like these 70-30s and setting stuff up for like the one Decidueye he had on board, but it just wasn't enough to keep up with my pressure. And obviously I eventually got Solgaleo that can take one shots on his guys, so on his Ninetales pieces, which he always needs to put into play to get any setup going. So that kind of went well. I think I just won 2 in a row. Yeah, and I just run the second game. I think I had a really terrible start, actually. I led a Lele, had to Lele for Elm, and then turn 2, I had to put a third Lele on board, just a Mallow to keep up with him. But it meant that I got Solgaleo up again, took 2 prizes, then it gets damaged, and I have to like Riotous Beating a Swampert and eventually ping it down with Feather Arrows and stuff. So it definitely got awkward because I was only doing like 1 trade a turn, and I had 3 Leles on my board. So that was very scary, but I did end up clutching that win just by, again, doing like Guzma Grinching plays, stuff like that. The game 2 was definitely very close because my board was a Clown Fiesta. It was literally like a Zoroark, 3 Leles, a Ninetales, and I think it was like either a Solgaleo or a Decidueye at any one point. So that was pretty stupid, but yeah. Top 4, I faced Zoro, Rock, Weavile, which is a terrible, terrible matchup on paper. Probably easily the closest series I had. It went to game 3, and I was able to win on my last turn of time. But the scariest thing was he was very proactive with judging me. I think he played 1 judge and Palpad, but he used it like turn 2, like in game 1, 2, and 3, I think. I think yeah, he was really aggressive on it. Really, really hyper aggressive at trying to stop me doing stuff. And I was able to win the first game. I can't remember why. I can't remember how I did. I think he GX'd and then I got Solgaleo down and then Claw Slash isn't doing much. And I was able to... He was only putting down like 1 space for a Weavile each time. So I was able to like pick them off a little bit here and there. After he got like 1 early knockout with a Sneasel, which I couldn't really help because I had to get set up. Game 2, I literally just do nothing after a judge and get pretty much rolled. I scoop after like 5 turns. And game 3 does go down to time, and it's again a counter game where he goes counter game Lycanroc, and I'm like, oh crumbs, I need to evolve like a bunch of things here to stay in the game, because he's just 1 prize away. That turn I had to evolve Decidueye, Solgaleo, and into a Zoroark, and I did all those things. Stayed in the game, and then I was able to like out heal him for a little bit and finish off like the board. But yeah, when it was in time, I had to... What did I have to do? So I tried to... Because he had a Sneasel in the back. I could be 100% safe and always win when I had like one of those Zoro hands of like 16 cards. I had 2 trades available, and I had 1 Mallow and 1 Guzma, and I had Counter Catcher still in deck. So I had that really awkward thing of like, do I trade pre-Mallow? Because I needed Solgaleo and Candy and Counter Gain. So I did 1 trade, got 2 Guff cards. And then I'm like, oh man, okay, I need to Guzma to guarantee KO on Weavile, which I do, but it meant that Cosmog then can't become Solgaleo to protect me from Claw Slash. No, it protected... So he was at 3 prizes.
Oh, okay.
I would go down to 2 prizes. So then I would have to win the next turn. So counter game was not live, but he could just attach and Claw Slash through my Zoroark to go down to 1. So I had to win the following turn. So I had to do all those things. Fortunately, I did do bench a Rowlet. Well, not fortunately. Planned to bench a Rowlet. So I could set up game anyway. So essentially, he either had to Guzma KO my Rowlet, or... What was his other out? Just judge me out of the combination, because because I did the Guzma play, I then had Mallow counter catcher for game the next turn by going Candy, Decidueye that I just benched a Rowlet, Choice Band, DCE, Mallow for DCE counter catcher, and he isn't able to judge me, and he doesn't Guzma Rowlet either. So yeah, I was able to do that long combination of like a 6-card combo, but yeah, it's a big Zoro hand. Tom Rush.
Nice.
Really close. And he actually did have Guzma in his hand, but he, like, at the start of his turn, he promoted his Lycanroc to attack with. so he couldn't deal
I
with
bet
my
you were like,
mallet.
oh my god.
I was like, oh yeah, that was squeaky bum time for sure.
Mm.
Um, so yeah, that was definitely close. And then finals, I had Gramble, which was fairly free. I did lose a game because I
Yeah, I heard
Ditto
about the donk.
donked. I just go, okay, fair energy to Ditto, choice band to Ditto, Cynthia. Yep, you got me, pretty much. So yeah, but that was really the only concern. It's pretty much the only way you lose to Gramble other than hideous prizes. So yeah, I think this deck is kind of okay. Yes, there are consistency issues at times, but I think I have like as crazy as it looks. I think the core cards are still in like high numbers that help you. Like 3 Lele, 4 Elm. Mallow is an MVP of this deck for certain. Like it's absolutely
Mhm.
absurd in this deck.
Yeah.
Because you can Mallow for like DC Ninetales and it's just silly. Or you can just get all sorts of combinations going. The only thing I like, the kind of things I'd like would be like a stretcher or just a thicker Zoroark line. I'd like more. Um, but yeah, that's really about it. Another timeable maybe, but I hate using that card anyway. It's like serious sweaty palms when you're in like finals and having to roll timeables.
Mm.
So that's the only thing that kind of makes you re about this list. But yeah, it was okay, and I feel like Mill is bad, Buzzwole is still bad, even though you have Solgaleo. Uh, what else is bad? Not much else is bad for you, I don't think. Can't think of anything else. You have solid coverage against everything. If a Guardy goes first and gets Solgaleo out, then it's bad because you can't interact with them so well. But that's, they have to go first and they have to know that you're playing Solgaleo. So, like in a game one situation, it wouldn't happen that often unless I just bet at Cosmog and he's like, oh, I need to get my Cosmog and then get it turn two as well. So, I don't know. It feels good to me. Yes, I should save those. Yeah, so that was what I played. I'm still obviously on the hunt for like different decks that I could be testing. So I'm not locked into it. I think stuff like Zoro Weavile and Zoro Rock, if they play judges, can easily like dominate some of these stage 2 decks like I played, because Tom was literally the only person who disrupted my hand the whole tournament because I faced so much Gramble basically. So he was the only guy who judged me, and every time I got judged, I was like, oh, fiddlesticks, I'm in trouble.
Mm.
So there is a weak underbelly there for sure. But yeah, it worked out for the cup at least.
Yeah.
Still think the deck is demolished by a good shrine deck. Define a good shrine deck. Solgaleo is insane, by the way, for it. I played 2 Ace Aurora and Max Spot as well. And you don't need to put down that many GX. Like, I put down a lot of GXs against them, but that was because they just had a really slow start and I wanted to, like, pressurize. So hand disruption is good. Damn. Hell yeah. Just don't do it against me, please. Promise. Oh, we're up against Buzzwole. We auto lose Buzz. We're straight Zoro Weaver. Whoops. Hit him. Get him. Get the monkey.
Do you want to take a look at some cards after this?
Sure. What's the set called?
Fantastic question. Tag Bolt. It's been a while since we've done one of these on stream.
SM9 all tagged bolt cards. That's been a while. I remember what happened last time.
Oh no. There you go.
We have to talk about blooming thingamajigs.
Everyone in the chat, that's what we're going to be looking at after this game. Tag teams? No, we don't. Just skip those. They're not important. Tagums.
Well, the good news is he's put down a lot of abilities. The bad news is our hand. 40 ever relevant on monkey? No. Attachment ever relevant in case... Surely he has gust. Maybe just for retreating afterwards, after the fact. Okay. So Z-Scoop was an apt title. Yeah. Poggers. Man, his board state is so terrible now. Those are some good prizes too. Am I running hand boy? No. Did I actually get prizes for winning? My pulls were abysmal, so... I got a Lugia GX.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Simply the best.
Rainbow rare, I assume, otherwise you wouldn't be mentioning it.
No. That'll be the half art then.
Oh, yes. That'll be the £2 art. Sell it to Nick. Straight. That's a clean £100.
Do I think one judge in Zora decks is enough? Difficult to get turn 2 and put a Lele on bench if it's really bad. I played 2 in my stage 1 lists. Could play more if you want to.
Don't say anything mean about my boy Gengar in the next hour. I'll I think Gengar's one of the better ones, right? I can't remember. That one's expensive. That one's expensive. That one's expensive. That one's cheap.
One of the better ones, he says.
Well, the cheap one was Gengar, to be fair.
The £1 cup win. Poggers champ.
Jack, I love you.
That's 2 £1 cup wins, I've had.
I feel like the Celebi mats will go like the Jirachi mats did, though.
Yeah.
Now, I feel like they'll have their burst.
Now I just need to be given those.
Did you not even get one from...
No, I did. I got a Wakefield.
Oh, okay.
I got one at Wakefield.
That's good. I like the design, but I don't know. The mat feels really dark. It feels like the picture is actually only... I don't know. It's really scaled down because there's like a big black border around it.
Back when Joe said he hated Judge and Zoro. Those are in the evolving Zoro decks, though. That's like the stage 2 stuff. In the stage 1 stuff, I will play them. In the stage 2 stuff, I just don't see it. Because you never want to be in that situation yourself. If the stage 1 Zoro deck can go, cool, Zoro, play Judge, and then trade, they can get a ridiculous lead on people. Knuckle Impact. He got no attachment in. Again. please. Poggers. Please.
Simply the best.
Ah, where's my energies? These timables, though. Breathe it in. Do I have to judge him? No, it makes my cargo better. I should Kukui here. DC one time. Bird up. Go. Ah! You don't have Guzma. Why didn't you judge first to see 6 cards? How many cards do we start our hand with? Also because we could get Mallow or Cynthia, which gets us more cards every time. That's why. Also, Judge is super bad against Oranguru Slugma, right? My cargo, I mean, not even Slugma. It's like the one thing you don't want to do. You want to see this list? Sure. Don't know why you want to see it, but there it is. I mean, it's fine against everything that's not Buzzwole, right? You disagree? Well, that's fine. You're wrong, though. But you're allowed to be wrong sometimes. It's fine. Zorby is a bit weak to some decks. It's very weak to Buzzwole. But Buzzwole is terrible. So.
He played Buzzwole. Luca.
Hashtag Team Lily. There's just no way. Elm is fine. Oh, sorry, Jack. I got into a game. I'll have one more game with this.
It's cool.
Doesn't really count against Buzzwole, right? You just have an early lunch break.
You're always on lunch break.
We've not even started looking at cards and we're all going to fall out? How dare you?
What? Me and you?
Yeah. I'm always on lunch break.
I mean, you do message me all the time.
Oh, I thought it was a pop at me.
Oh, no. No. I mean, your actual lunch break.
Yeah.
Your 9 to 5 lunch break.
How's the Guardy matchup with this deck? Well, they play all the abilities, so yeah. Oh, it's
98
another
tickets.
auto loss. I don't believe it. And we've drawn terribly. What's a lunch break? Oh, it's one of those things that working people do. Yeah. Fru's Twitch, how's it going? I feel like they could just get out 2 Guardies and run you over. How do they just get out 2 Guardies without using Lele's Ninetales and Swampert? That would be my question. Because they always need to do that. Sick Elm, bro. I mean, sick Steven. Huh?
Oh, no. Oh, I've just caught up. Oh, no.
You know when I said I'd have one more game, I meant this one. A bit salty today.
Simply the best. Choo, choo, choo.
Never Elm. I mean, we have Ultra Ball, so yes, Elm. Always. Okay.
When I say never Elm, I mean always Elm, but never. Oh, what's it called? Naked.
Raw.
Never.
Raw.
Always have to use cards.
Raw.
Ooh.
So this is one of the Zoro decks that can't jump over B string, so we just have to judge and pray out the right turn. Patrick Vargas, thank you for the follow. You beast.
The other thing with this though is your late game is non-EX attackers that take prizes on Blacephalons, so
Correct.
you might not jump over B string, but sometimes you can
Catch up.
have a Weavile take 4 prizes.
Sounds alright.
So I've realised I've said to I think 3 different people I want to play 3 different cards in Harrogate. One of them was Ninetales, one of them was Solgaleo. Oh no, 4. One of them was Ninetales, one of them was Solgaleo, one of them was Weavile, and one of them was Zoroark. I've now realised that's a deck, so I'm sorted.
Just had space.
Just had space. I'm pretty sure that's the deck you told me I just didn't have space for. But
we found the space.
We found the space.
202 Decidueye becomes 202. Oh no, just 2-2 Weavile. No O involved.
The energy count's a bit yucky, but
look at this absolute slug right here. He's just burst GX to fire.
yeah.
Absolute slug.
It's a Joe Bernard. It's a Joe Bernard burst.
Boggers. I think we just want more Zoroarks here with our smooth over. They're good. Game froze. What face? There we go. Don't really want to get rid of Zorua. Don't want to get rid of any of these cards. They're all very strong. Get rid of Kukui. We have Palpad, I guess. $120 and $150 the same in this matchup, right? I don't play any, like, Latios or anything.
Don't let Sean hear you saying that.
Zoro Weavile is pretty linear and easy to play around, or is it actually really strong? I mean...
It's hard to play around Weavile, because if you're playing around Weavile, you're probably not doing what you want to be doing.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? It's like...
There's a difference between...
You're half-baking your strategy.
Yeah, there's a difference between a linear deck like Vika Ray, in that it does the same thing on its own side of the board every game.
Yeah.
And linear like Zoro Weavile, where it actually disrupts your setup sort of, like, in a way. Like Vika Ray is a different linear in my eyes. For example, as an example of a linear deck.
Oh, we have this. Why am I complaining? And it's an ability on the board. Poggers.
To be fair, that was a pretty nuts turn.
It's not ended.
Oh, is he still going?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Why would you... yeah, okay. Yeah, fine, I guess. Sure.
Why did he hit the... okay. Okay. Was that what you were heavy breathing at?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure thing, dude. He did it because he knows he's going to draw 4 B string off of this.
I mean, he has a lot of outs, to be fair.
Judge.
He's not in bad shape at all. If I counter catcher, hit, he needs to have energy E switch and like choice band or a Guzma play. Guzma play is really bad for us as well, right? Guzma energy or E switch energy. And it means I have no Zoroarks left on my board. I think we have to take the risk though if we're going to win this game.
Schmack.
Ah, yes, Guzma. Crumbs. We're in a lot of trouble. I'm Setho, thanks for the follow. Right, now he has no energy in his discard pile. We judge him this time and it'll definitely work 100%, right? I need to make sure Judge is in here. Okay. Do I Wonder Tag instead? Just for an extra card out my deck? I still want to draw more Zoroark. It's an extra thin. Sure. I literally was saying in my head, draws Judge, and then I just did. I think I'd play this for the extra thin, though. Judgment game. I mean, he just needs rings, right? It's not asking for much. Ring Guzma or ring attach. Looks like he has a Lily. Oh, Cynthia. Same difference.
Hotness factor.
Get him! Attack! Get him!
Wait, what? Did he miss ring? Oh my god.
And 2 to Judge to 5. Yeah. What a world we live in. There's not much else I can do. I can't interact with his hand too much. Maybe I could try and get a stadium. Maybe that's probably what I should have smoothed over. Actually, I should have got rid of this. It's not game. He can still win. He can go attach, charge up, E-switch, 200, and then choice band, which we know he plays. Or he could attach, E-switch Guzma. Still easily lose. Try and get stadium, I guess. No. No more Zoroarks in deck. Guzma with Weavile. He needs even less then. We've got to have the big hit point boy up front. So now he needs 2 energy discards, plus attachment, plus E-switch, plus band. No, he doesn't need much. He could just discard, attach, charge up, knock out Zorua because we couldn't evolve. Well, there's no Guzma, so he's getting rid of a lot of cards here. Everything, yeah. Yeah, Guzma's Zoro, kill with Naga, yeah. Well, we got pretty lucky there. Okay. Right, let's look at some new cards, I guess.
Yes. Oh. Pogs. Okay, yes.
I should probably move the jar a little bit. Right, I need to get some water quickly.
Alrighty. New cards, poggers. I'd imagine this will be a very, very brief rundown. Because I'm sleepy, but you never know. We often talk about cards for too long. So it could be as long as you guys expect.
Right. Erglis 1991. Thank you for the follow. I need to quickly change the title. Oops.
Oh, I just caught a sneeze. Oh my god. That was so close.
Okay. So, do we want to talk about the mechanic of tag teams to kick things off, seeing as though it's our first card anyway?
I guess so, yeah.
So tag teams are obviously new cards that give up 3 prize cards when you knock them out. And I think it's terrible for the game, personally. Because, I mean, obviously there's a Mr. Mime coming out that stops like Acerola looping these, so there's less fear of them all becoming the new Whale Lord style card that just can never get knocked out. And you just loop with heals and stuff. So that concern is sort of mitigated a bit. That was definitely a big concern with these cards. Pretty much every one of them had the potential to be ignore all text except for weakness and hit points. So they have addressed that concern quite well, to be fair, with a reasonable basic Pokemon that also is good against like Zoroark and stuff like that. So that's good. My biggest headache with Tag Team GX cards giving up 3 prizes is that they all have ×2 weaknesses. So if any of them becomes relevant enough, a non-GX taking 3 prizes just thanks to hitting a good amount with weakness is just so stupid to have in the game. So I think naturally tag teams will never be like the best decks in format unless they're going to be so powerful that it's worth a risk, or there's no easy counter just by hit points, or its typing is just happens to be awkward in the metagame. So I think at the moment tag teams are more collector cards, but as we've seen before, when they're introducing a new concept, oftentimes they go conservative and then find their balance and make some of them good enough to be very playable. So I'm not saying off the bat that none of them are playable, and obviously there's things we can do with them. I think tag teams just generically just by a big basic having a tag that can be knocked out, or sorry, that gives up 3 prizes is just so weird to have in the game. I think they may end up being, at the moment they're all expensive attack costs, so I can't see this, but I can see them eventually becoming where it's late in the game, there's 2 prizes left, you can be like, cool, here comes my tag team. I'm going to try and sweep the board at the end game because it doesn't matter how many prizes you take to win. That kind of feels like how they may end up being. Almost like how we saw like legends in like Embor decks. Like people played Embor Magnezone with Deoxys, Rayquaza Legend, and it just sort of came down as a sweep when you could. And I feel like these might follow suit with that.
Yeah. To follow on from that, the other big concept with the tag teams is their GX attacks are a little bit wild. So they're generally similar GX attack, a big effect for as a one-time use attack. As you can see with this one, it's 4 for 180 plus some text. But the big selling point to add on from that is that if you have, there's this little plus icon. If you have more than the required energy cost, which in this case is 4 plus, I think it's one more grass energy. You get a bonus effect for your GX attack. That part of the tag teams I really like because it's kind of like resource management is the wrong. No, I guess it kind of is resource management, but it's putting more into a Pokemon to get more out of it. I like that concept about working out when you want to use your tag team GX attack. Do you want to attach? In this case, it's only one energy, so it's not too big. But some you need to commit 3 more energy for this big effect. Is that the right time to use the big effect, or do you need to wait a little bit longer to see the most benefit out of it? So that bit I really like about the tag team GXs, but I do agree with Joe. I don't like that we have ultimately the Mr. Mime that we'll talk about is important, but this looks like big basic meta again, and I'm so done with big basic meta.
Yeah.
We've
Right.
had it
Oh, go
for
on.
like 6 years.
Yeah.
Just
But
we can do better.
from general scanning, they don't look that strong so far. They
No,
all
I
look very
agree.
expensive, chunky cards.
And like you say, that's generally how they do uh, this kind of effect, isn't it? I mean, Decidueye is one of the only GXs from the first set that's still used.
Hmm.
Whereas, like, there's usually we then look at the kind of effects we see later on down the line. And there's usually 3 or 4 GX Pokemon that are immediately in top tier decks. Blacephalon, Ninetales in this set, Zeraora, I still think is very good and just hasn't seen play yet. So, they do scale things up. So I do agree that I'm not overly worried that um, just because they're all trash now, they'll always be trash. But at the same time, I wouldn't mind if they were, just because, I like evolving. I like stage twos. I think Ninetales is a really, really good card. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay, let's get into this specific tag team, which we've been sort of railing on accidentally. But yeah, Venusaur and Celebi GX tag team. 270 hit points on a basic is big. You're not going to get donked anytime soon if you lead it. Pollen Hazard for Grass, DCE 50. Your opponent's active is now burned, confused, and poisoned. So it's not really 50, it's like min 80 plus flips and they're confused. So that's really frustrating. It's actually a fairly efficient attack on a basic, to be honest. Then we have Solar Beam for Grass, Colorless, which does 150. Not that good at all, really. Very vanilla. An Evergreen GX for Grass, Colorless, 180. Heal all damage from this Pokemon. So it's Bulu's GX attack, but if this has at least 1 extra Grass energy attached to it, shuffle all cards from your discard pile into your deck. That is a huge effect, and that's a real introduction into the tag team sort of plus mechanic. If
Yeah.
you hit that requirement, you are doing a real game-changing thing. GX attacks were already trying to be like game changers. This is like even higher still.
Yeah.
And there are pros and cons to this GX attack. I know a lot of people like to hail back to Trump card and just the all-out pros of this, that you can get back important resources. One of the best things to do as the game progresses is thin your deck, and you get a lot of jank back sometimes if you're doing this. You're probably playing a lot of energy cards. I can't see this in any sort of deck unless it's like Vikavolt or Venusaur based, like the jungle totem Venusaur, to get this attack cost up. So he's not going to be a deck on his own, too slow without it, but maybe with some sort of support, some acceleration, you could try and do it. But what sort of cards are you trying to recycle? If you're playing a stage 2 deck, you're putting back in guff like rare candies, stretchers, ultra balls that you've already used, and that sucks. A lot of supporter cards like lilies, you don't want to see them late on. Like, there's a very finite number of cards you actually want to put back. Like, Gardevoir's GX attack is so good because you get the 10 good cards back. And even then,
Yeah.
sometimes you look at 7 cards and you're like, oh, I guess I'll put these 3 Ultra Balls back in because they're not the worst. They're just Ultra Balls.
Yeah.
So I think it's a deceptively weak GX attack unless we have a deck that can support him that somehow can cycle a bunch and get some really annoying cards back. Maybe like when we saw like Super Scoop Ups and Crushing Hammers being looped super quickly with Toad. Like
Yeah.
we have nothing to support that right now. Even if you're just going like sprint, sprint, sprint with like a bunch of zebras in the back, like I can't see it working. So very
No, very
glamorous,
flashy,
but
yeah.
yeah,
But I think it's uh, a good indicator of what to expect from these GX attacks. But I'm not sold by it just because it doesn't seem to have the support. Plus, you know, yes we are in a bit more of a stage two meta, but even with a baby Venusaur out, you need 3 energy on this to Evergreen plus.
yeah.
And that's we don't have Max Elixir right now, which is how Venusaur Genesect work. So that's three. There's 3 turns to set this up. So yeah.
Notably, does have 4 retreat cost for a card later on.
Oh, good.
Weedle can switch an opponent's active Pokemon and look at his little head. Another Weedle has more hit points. Kakuna, if it has any grass energy attached to it, takes 30 less from attacks. But we have the busted multiply Kakuna, don't forget, instead.
Yeah.
So that's always outclassed. We have Beedrill, which for some reason has got some attention. It's a stage 2 that has Destiny Barb. This attack can only be used when this Pokemon has damage counters on it. Both active Pokemon are knocked out. So very memey, very very.
Always Beedrill, man. Always Beedrill.
So if you face an all GX deck,
You win.
you multiply. You've probably gone down 1 or 2 prizes already. By the time you get this guy up, you take your opponent down to 3 prizes and yourself down to 4 by using this first attack. Then they attack you again to go to 2 prizes. Then you do this attack again. You go to 2, they go to 1, and then they attack you for game. So even in the best case scenario, when you are against 3 GX Pokemon in the active position against you, you lose yourself the game by using this attack if everything goes well. So it's terrible setup. You have to damage yourself with like Potowns and Rainbows. You need to get into a stage 2 that was as clunky as Greninja, and you then give your opponent the game. So if you attack into 2 tag teams, you win. That's when you win. But otherwise, you lose all the time.
Nah, trust me, guys. You win. You win. You guys play this. You guys play this.
Reckless Charge does 90 for a DCE, though. Probably its best attack.
Sets it up. You Reckless Charge. You 10 damage to yourself. You're like, oh, they had 100 HP. Well, I guess I'll Destiny Barb them.
You'd play it with Shedinja, probably. That's even more setup.
Yeah, that sounds hard.
Okay. Parasect. Put 2 counters on your opponent's confused Pokemon between turns. That's a little bit annoying. It turns confusion into like powerful poison.
Mm-hmm.
Not enough things do good confusion. I'm not going to see like a Espeon GX Parasect deck. I still think it's too unimpactful. When stuff is confused, they're always trying to pivot out the active, and we still have Acerola and Guzma in the format, and that's made status just really bad in the meta.
Yeah.
Execute, 50 hit points. Worse than the other executes that we have. Pincer. Grip and Squeeze. 30 and they can't retreat for a DCE. Guillotine. If both heads, your opponent's Pokemon is knocked out. Poggers.
Artwork appreciation.
I think everyone's brains are warped by having to play Timeable now. Everyone thinks that like 2 heads is unachievable now. It's so great. Everyone will just tell you the tales of double tails and never double
People
heads.
finally understand that these cards are bad.
Yeah. Charmander notably has the Retaliate attack. 20 times the number of damage counters on this Pokemon. That's something to note.
That's good for that Charizard from whenever it was, right? Wait, or is that X and Y? Or is the Charizard that has inbuilt memory legal, or is that a different Charizard?
There was an attack that was that was like copy and attack from beneath you.
Oh, okay.
And
there
yeah,
you go.
That was a thingamajig.
You've got a good Charm. You had a good Charmeleon, but not a good Charmander. Well, now you've got a good Charmander and a good Charmeleon.
Yeah, don't forget the Charmeleon that we got in Thingy Set Majig, Dragon Majesty, the accelerating Charmeleon.
Hmm.
Charizard comes with 150 hit points, 2 retreat cost.
Great art.
Great art. 5 out of 5.
Well, I got a 7 art.
Yeah. The perfect 5 out of 7, please. Addicting Drive is the ability. Once during a turn, you may put 2 counters on this Pokemon. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 Fire Energy and attach them to him. And then shuffle your deck. So, energy
Reminds me of
acceleration
that
from deck
Incineroar.
is very good, to be fair.
Mm.
Are we going to start seeing Charmeleon, Charizard, Blacephalon? No. No, we're not. But energy acceleration from deck is actually very good. So, continuous Blaze Ball does 30. Plus discard all fire from this Pokemon, 50 more for each you discarded. And because it does accelerate a lot, to be fair, its attack does do good damage as well. Like, it's just above mediocre, but we'll never see play. Like, props, they made him interesting enough to not just be...
Collector's
He
Club.
is just bulk, but, like, at least you read him. There you go. Vulpix isn't a Alolan. Feels bad, man. Ninetales comes with an interesting ability as well. 100 hit point stage 1. Nine-tailed Invitation. Once during your turn, you may discard 2 Fire Energy from your hand, then choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon and switch it with his or her active. So it's similar to a Pyroar that we had, the Flare Command Pyroar, but it's twice the cost. It's pretty expensive. We do have Fiery Flint, though, which is notable, to pull a bunch of Fire Energies out for you. Getting Fire Energies into your discard pile is pretty good. For Blacephalon decks.
One Ninetales line?
Is it going to be a Ninetales Ditto situation? Maybe.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Ooh.
Right? Like, definitely maybe.
Ditto's just great, isn't
Maybe
he?
you just play no Guzmas now and just play Ninetales in your Blacephalon. Maybe. I think this ability is good though, and I think there's synergy with Blacephalon. So
This feels like an ability that will be used at some point, even
Yeah.
if it's not straight away. Like free Lysander every turn is very good,
yeah, I like it.
and Fire's always a type that can get energy back from the discard somehow. So
Oozes synergy.
it'll work. It'll work somehow.
Nice card. I really liked that card, even though it's a really, really like expensive compared to something we've seen previously on the card that didn't see much play, despite Pyro being like a combination of reasonable cards. I think it might be synergistic enough with Blacephalon to see fringe experimentation. Ponyta, Rapidash are bulk. Moltres, discard all Fire Energy from this Pokemon. If you do, for each energy discarded, discard 1 card from your opponent's deck. This is the fossil Moltres' attack from way back when, and let me tell you, that was not a deck. Fire Spin, very expensive. It's not the new Kiawe non-GX target.
As Ross said.
Is that what he said?
He did a video about it.
Of course he did. Right, here comes a big boy. I was actually so happy. I think when this card was first revealed, or it was before the card itself was revealed, it was when we knew that we were getting Werelord Magikarp. I think I said on stream I wanted the attack to be Splash and Big Splash. We pretty much got that. We got 2 attacks on this 300 hit point basic Pokemon, which is already just outstanding. Werelord breaking the records all over again. Super Splash does 180 for 5 Water Energy cards. And Towering Splash GX for 1 Water. If this Pokemon has at least 7 extra Water Energy attached to it, does 100 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. So, I mean, that's a lot of damage. We have Black Ray GX, but that's exclusively to GXs. It can hit the active, though. And we've just seen Vikavolt GX do 60 to all your opponent's bench Pokemon, and it not being very good. So, is an Archiestoise going to commit 2 Superiors to this guy to try and win games in Expanded? I would say almost certainly not.
I don't think so.
So I think oftentimes you're going for the GX attack turn 1, so that turn 2 you can somehow hit 190. Yeah. There you go. Good. The GX attack does 10 for 1. Good.
Busted.
We have a Squirtle that can have free retreat if there's a stadium in play. That's not bad, seeing as though you're going to be playing Brooker Hill if you're going to be a water deck.
I really hope you're going to be looking at artwork appreciation for these two.
Oh, look. This is the first thing I did when I saw this set. I just sent Jack 2 pictures of these two. I don't know which one I like more because they're just so different. Squirtle is my boy, of course.
I see it as a timeline. It's Squirtle. The first Squirtle is the one where he's happy jumping around, having a great time. And the second Squirtle, he's worn out. He's had his fun.
Yeah.
Having a little nap.
Little nap.
Ready for more clowning around later on.
Yeah. I thought it was the two reactions to Time Ball, when you hit double heads and when you hit double tails.
Yes.
The other Squirtle has 70 hit points, which might be good, might be bad. Who knows these days? Wartortle does nothing in particular. Blastoise as well. Artwork appreciation for show. What a beast. Similar to Charizard, they tried to make him at least intriguing. 160 hit points on a stage 2. Notably water type, of course, for expanded reasons if Archies and Maxies stay around. Check out the Ross video if you want to see his predictions.
He knows, by the way. He knows what's going to happen.
Oh, good. Power Squall. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 6 cards of your deck, choose as many water energy cards you find there as you like, and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like. Shuffle your other cards back into your deck. So, this is busted Max Elixir because it doesn't specify basics, it doesn't specify bench, and it's as many as you see in the top 6. The only catch is that it has to be water energy, and you have to get a stage 2 out. But this is really good energy acceleration.
Yes.
Again, acceleration from deck. This is stackable as well. So,
Yep.
you could get a lot of energies into play. It's actually really interesting, this guy. I think he's definitely worth a second look for acceleration.
He just needs the right partner. Like, he needs a good attacker.
Yeah. But
And-
we've got a Ninetales engine, right? So maybe it's like a
We do.
Ninetales Blastoise Solgaleo situation where you just power up 230s every turn because you can keep... Oh no, it's water energies only.
No, it's water energy,
Forget me. Embarrassing. Okay.
I think...
Quagum's Blastoise.
Oh, God.
There we go. Yeah, Sean's just said it. What water things can we power
Whack
up?
him in Nagaquag.
And he's never setting himself up.
No.
Yeah, maybe it's just the lack of water stuff that we have at the moment. But notably Archieable if Archie is around. But who knows. Hydro Tackle's pretty bad. Well, it's fine, I guess. Psyduck can stop your opponent playing trainers on a coin flip. And does 10. Poggers. Golduck. Artwork appreciation. If your opponent has a water in play. Okay, that's terrible. Staryu, terrible. Magikarp. Flip a coin if head, search your discard pile for a card that evolves from this Pokemon and put it on top of this card. Busted. We do have good Magikarps already, though. The bench barrier ones. This Gyarados, first of all, breathe in that artwork, obviously. That's the best part of these first impressions. We actually talk about artwork in these.
Look at it. Oh, my
Looking
God.
fierce. Everyone loves Gyarados. Filter out does 30. Reveal the top 7 cards of your deck. This does 30 more damage. So the base is 30. 30 more damage for each water energy revealed. Shuffle the waters back into your deck and discard the remaining. Really, really interesting effects. Because your power it gets stronger and stronger every time you use the attack. So it's like the Typhlosion deck, but reversed, because you're increasing your outs every time. which is really cool. Obviously, filtering out trainers is bad for you because you want to keep getting Gyarados online. But it is a 150 hit point stage 1, so it's bulky as all hell. Obviously, its damage is not reliable early on, but by turn, like, 5, if you've been able to filter out up until that point, it's going to be reliably knocking stuff out for sure. Like, easy. So, I think it might be a meme tier deck, you know? I think it's memeable. The one thing is, if you think about max elixirs and how you are sometimes missing 1 off in 6, this is revealing 7, and really we need to hit like 5. So
yeah, you still like
fully meme category.
even though you're thinning your deck out, you still need to run a lot of energy. So
yeah, it's the new Typhlosion deck basically. I would say the new.
but it's a stage 1 instead of a
Yeah.
stage 2. So
Yeah.
busted.
Lapras. We always have to look at our little Aquabox pals here. Lapras can confuse and does 10 plus 30 for each water, so that's very poor. Articuno. Oh, this one does have fighting resist. Bastard. And 110 hit points. Comes with the ability Blizzard Veil. As long as this Pokemon is your active, whenever your opponent plays a supporter card from their hand, prevent the effects of that card done to your benched water Pokemon. Very, very good ability.
No more Guzmas.
They cannot Guzma for game anymore. This could really be a thing if Aquabox was good right now, which it's not. Because we don't have... Because Lapras doing 190 isn't good enough when there's evolutions all over the shop. But stopping your opponent Guzmaing you for game and forcing a 7-prize game every game is really powerful for you. So this would be a one-of, I think, in Aquabox. Especially because it's also a 2-energy attacker, which is also very relevant. It just does 70, and you can move 2 waters from this to one of your bench. So it does 70 and protects. If you're playing Quag, you can always reload on him as well. So you're protecting... So you're setting up an attacker that can't be interacted with by your opponent. Very, very strong. Really cool. Shrine Aquabox. Protecting your Quagsire is very good in a deck that will play Shrine. Could be very interesting. I don't think that's bad, Gmon. I think this is definitely an interesting card. And if you're continually retaining every energy in a Naga Quag, wow, that Hydro Pump gets powerful. That gets super powerful super quickly. I think this could actually push Naga Quag into a real deck. This card is really strong. Do you think this card is strong, Jack?
Potentially. I
Just play Escape Rope. Who plays Rope?
don't know.
If they rope, you pick the least impactful thing. You don't pick your attacker. They're going to rope Guzma. They're going to Lycanroc Guzma. We already beat Buzzrock because we're Naga Quag.
I think it's fine. I think it doesn't blow me away, but I can see the synergy there. It's just whether it works out in practice. But yeah, I don't hate it. Like, it's far better than half the cards we've looked at already. So
One notable concern is it is weak to lightning, and that gets a lot better this set. Guzma the Naga.
because of this, a Alolan Geodude.
How do you Guzma? Blizzard Veil.
Blizzard Veil only protects your waters, so they can Guzma the Naga.
Yeah, but your water energy was safe anyway. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can, if you're charging up, you put all the energies onto Articuno. Oh no, you don't, because it can only move 2. Okay. We'll think about this. Well, so the ones you move to your other water guys, then you just charge up and move those 2 to the active. Yeah, easy.
Yeah. You move them back to your Quagsire, and then you
Yeah.
charge up 2, move them to the active, move them back to your Quagsire.
Easy. Okay, another tag teamums. This one pack in 240 hit points on a basic. Lightning type, weak to fighting. So this can get knocked out by 1 energy on a Buzzwole on a 4-prize turn, which is embarrassing. This is obviously one of the first GXs, or the tag teams that we got introduced to. It comes with 2 attacks, Full Blitz for 3 lightning does 150. Search your deck for up to 3 lightning energy and attach them to one of your Pokemon, then shuffle your deck. Incredible energy acceleration.
Yes.
Reasonable damage. Oftentimes not getting a knockout at the moment, but you do have Electro Powers to push. So that's really cool.
One Electroplower plus Choice Band knocks out a Zoroark.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you
So
know.
its damage is fine.
Yeah.
Acceleration from deck, we always say, is insane. And only being 3 energy. Like, this is the attack that you can just spam, right?
Yes.
So only being 3 energy is actually pretty achievable. We have Lightning, Magnezone. We have
that.
Zeraora with its
We
GX
have
attack and Shuckles.
Tapu Koko Prism as well.
We have Coco Prism. Yeah, we have all sorts. So this is actually an achievable attack. It's the first GX that has like an achievable attack, which is really good as well. Tag Bolt GX for 3 lightning does 200. If it has at least 3 extra energy, 3 extra lightning energy attached to it, it does 170 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. So, the dream is, right, you go full Blitz as a knockout whilst attaching 3 to yourself. You don't get knocked out.
Somehow.
And you tag Bolt. Well, I mean, 240 is a lot. And then you tag Bolt, KO the active, snipe that Lele for game. So the dream situation is this guy attacks twice for game, which is pretty insane to think about. Definitely a concern card. If it's not being checked. I think we could easily see a Turbo Zeraora Shuckle build.
This card is this card screams Turbo to me. It screams use Tag Bolt turn 2.
Yeah. 6 energy not on Guardy. Thinking face.
It's like
all basic energies as well.
It's like ZPST 2.0.
Yeah. I really like the flavor of this card as well. I think
this is the only tag team that I really like. And I said this from the start that I really like this, and I still really like this because it feels the attack feels good.
Yeah.
The regular attack feels good. It feels like it's a card you'd want to play.
Uh-huh.
The GX attack 3 for 200 is fine. It wins the game. But if you're like the plus attack is crazy good, and there's going to be some games where you can't do it, and
basically
that's the way tag teams will work.
Yeah. If your opponent's playing something that can't one-hit KO, which is a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
It will just carry. And what I like is if someone's like, oh, Guzmid it up and hit it, you can use its first attack to power up a second one of these anyway, and then that next one comes in, fresh of damage, does the first attack again, but then to itself, and still tries to clear. It can really punish any Lele that comes onto the board, so...
I think this is actually one of the only tag teams I really like, but I do really like this. I'm glad they revealed this one first, and I said it from the start when they were first revealed that I thought this card... I think this card has serious potential.
Yeah, this is
bearing in
genuinely
mind,
a strong one.
Yeah, we've got all of the lightning support that's in the intermediate set that will also come out with this, so the Tapu Koko Prism, plus all the lightning stuff we got from Lost Thunder. Plus, yes, if this gets crazy big, Buzzwole comes back, but this is so far away from Buzzwole set, and even Baby Buzzwole set, there will be a format where neither of those are in the format, and this is. So I think this card is going to be good at some point. It's just too efficient. I also don't think it's crazy broken as well. I think this is a really balanced card.
Yeah.
Which is really nice. I don't look at it and I'm like, well, we've got only tier 1 deck for 3 months that we've got to work out a way to do 240 to 2 GXs before they take 4 prizes in a single turn. This feels just like a really balanced card.
I can see it easily sweeping 5 prizes on its own though, even if it's not 6. I can see it easily sweeping.
And I don't think when I say balanced, I mean balanced to the point of it being a good deck. I mean it's not broken. I think I'm going down the scale rather than up the scale. I think this card isn't broken, which is nice that it's good but not broken. Because it still does require some setup, which is like you've got to get your initial 3 energy on in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think this is a nice tag team. I like this. I like this one.
Right, we've got some Geodudes. We've got a Graveler. We've got a Alolan
Stash of
Golem. 180 hit point, stage 2. Magnet Bomber. A free attack cost, but you move any number of light energy from your bench Pokemon to this guy, and does 20 for each card you moved. So you simply Zekrom tag team, and then go into this guy, and do, like, 60.
Do nothing. Cool.
Electrode, interesting, stage 1. Energy Shaker. Once during your turn, when you play this card from your hand to evolve, you may move any number of lightning energy attached to your Pokemon to your other Pokemon in any way that you like. Oh, interesting. That's a way to fill your board with lots of energies and then put the Zekrom Pikachu down all in one turn. And surprise, he's out of nowhere. They thought you were going to evolve into an Electro GX. Boy, were they wrong. Or maybe they were right, and then you go into this one.
I was going to say, you Electro GX first, then Electrode. And
Buggers.
move the energy about.
Pretty cool ability, though. It's annoying. Like, obviously, we've had a Aromatisse that was, like, very, very good for a long time. This is just a one-time use. So, yeah. We got another Tag Teamums GX. It's Gengar, Mimikyu. Psychic type, 240 hit point, basic Poggy Man. Poltergeist for 2 psychic, does 50. Your opponent reveals their hand. This does 50 damage for each trainer card you find there. Pretty powerful. Scale's pretty high. And there are ways you can try and manipulate it. Horror House is the GX attack for a single psychic. Your opponent can't play any cards from their hand during their next turn, so that's just for 1 psychic. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra psychic energy attached to it, each player draws cards until they have 7 in their hand. So, for just 1 energy, your opponent can't play any cards. So, that's really powerful. Your opponent not being able to play any cards that turn is pretty silly, really. We've seen attacks
You can do it turn 1 as well.
Yeah. So it could lead to some really sad games where your opponent just can't do anything. You can get the jump on someone by being able to, like, evolve ahead of them, even if you're
I'm going to say going second, you evolve first.
Mm-hmm.
Hello?
It's like a Bell of Silence, but so much more influential. And I mentioned Bell of Silence because this is probably going to be seen in some sort of Malamar deck. The joy of these tag teams, which I didn't mention right at the start, but a Marshadow GX can copy all of these guys by just being a 2-prize Pokemon. So there's always that to be worried about and think about when you're trying to place where these tag teams live. So, yeah, just 1 psychic to stop your opponent doing anything. It reminds me of it's like a Timeless GX attack, or it's like a Alolan Golem GX attack. Alolan Golem literally had this, and it was on a stage 2 that required 4 energy cards, I think, or 5.
Yeah, 4.
And now it's on a basic for 1. That's really silly. The extra energy, allowing you to draw up to 7, is kind of okay. Allowing your opponent is meant to synergize with Poltergeist. That's the whole thing. You put your opponent to 7 cards. They're not allowed to play those cards. Then Poltergeist gets a knockout. That's pretty much what it's trying to... That's like the intention. I can understand the synergy between its 2 attacks. And sometimes your opponent will have a large hand size anyway, especially if it's in the early game. They'll probably have a large hand size from like an early Lily or something like that. So they're probably not getting too many draws out of it, and you're probably getting stuff back. The weakness of Dark obviously means that it's going to have trouble ever actually physically being in play, but I could see this being in the discard pile for Marshadow, to be honest. Yep. Resistance to Dark is nice. To fighting is nice.
Plus, we will live in a world without Zoroark.
Yeah.
In like 9 months' time, Zoroark rotates.
And it could actually end up being in a Zoroark deck because it has 240 hit points and fighting resistance. So maybe this is like the Bennett GX that we saw in Zoroark decks to help you beat fighting decks, because this is only 1 deck slot, whereas Bennett would be more. So that's actually something to note.
Yeah. And because it's training cards as well, with a choice band, they need to accidentally draw an extra Guzma, and they're like, oh dear,
Yeah,
oh dear.
yeah. They can't insta-play everything out.
No, B strings are locked sometimes. Extra supporters are locked sometimes. Extra stadiums that they can't bounce are locked sometimes. This hits things.
Okay, Nidoran female. Search your deck for a basic Pokemon, put it onto your bench. Nice little addition there. Nidorina. Shuffle 5 Pokemon from your discard pile into your deck. Both of these have nice little like bonus attacks, I guess. Only really mentioning them though because this Nidoqueen is an absolute pog. I love this card.
Yeah,
I
it's one of my
love this
favorite cards of the
card.
set.
Yeah. 160 hit point, stage 2 psychic type. Um, Already being a psychic type so good for like treasures and stuff like that. You have the ability Mother Call. Once during a turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon, except GX and EX. I didn't read that the first time, which really made me sad on the second read. Reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Still insane. Obviously, you're getting great search for your entire evolution line, really mitigating the issues of Stage 2 decks. And the more Nidoqueens that get into play, the more that it sets up your board. It's like a Grovyle. But you know, you don't get. Seeing as though this is the top evolution, you will continually have that search, which is good for you. Power Lariat is the attack for 3 colorless energies. Does 10. This attack does 50 more damage for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. So, the dream is that you start using Mother Call, getting lots more Nidorinas out, maybe 1 or 2 Malamars out as well, so that you can fill this Power Lariat attack up with, DCE cost plus Psychic Energy cost or whatever to get you rolling or continuing to attack. And Power Lariat does big damage, really big damage to be honest. 4 evolutions out, that's 210 on your bench. That's really achievable, I think, when you have Mother Call in the back. We have Ninetales GX as well. Obviously, you can't search it with the Nidoqueen, but you can still use it to get your first 2 Nidoqueens up. Then those Nidoqueens get you more evolutions. So I think there's definitely something here. Powerful attacker for sure, and great ability. Any more to add, Jack?
No, I think this card's great. I'm really excited to play some Nidoqueen.
Very setup reliant. You don't want to see things like Sudowoodo. You don't want to see. You don't want to come up against other aggressive like Grambles and Lost Marches and stuff. But still, big setup, but big payoff. The Nidoking has 160 hit points as well. He has Drag Off for 2 colorless. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. It does 50 to the new active. And King Drums does for Psychic 2 colorless 100. If Nidoqueen is on your bench, 100 more. Probably not worth playing, even though you're playing Nidoqueen, I would say. I think the Nidoqueen's attack does enough damage. It's not worth you adding an extra stage 2 into your list. I think
Nope.
Nidoqueen plus Energy Accelerator / support cards will be the best way to go.
Garbage.
So this guy is a trap card. Tentacruel, 70% damage by Ultra Beasts. We already have enough Ultra Beast counter cards. That is not good enough. Muck has Poison Sacks. Oh, this artwork. Have you seen this artwork, Jack?
Disgusting.
Look at that absolute gorgon.
That
That is sorry.
is absolutely sorry.
Oh my god, look at that little dribble as well. Everything. Amazing artwork.
Sorry.
Your opponent's poison Pokemon remain poisoned even after evolving or devolving, so it's the stadium card. Oh, what's it called? Is it Sea of Nothingness? No.
Yeah.
Sea of Nothingness?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Does the same thing.
Terrible. Toxic Secretion, 40. Your opponent's active is now poisoned. Yeah, that's terrible.
Sorry.
Starmie, 40 damage for a colorless. Search your deck for up to 3 water or psych energy and attach them to one of your benched Pokemon. For the longest time, we've seen a load of stage 1s throughout the decades that can do an attack like this that gets you 2 energy cards. And they're always bad. Because this can get 3, Is it any better?
No.
No. Embarrassing. Okay, good. Mr. Mime.
Mr. Jazz Hands.
Love this card. Good for the game. Healthy guy. Sad for Zoroark players.
Yes.
Retrieval block. Your opponent's Pokemon with damage counters on them, and all cards attached to those Pokemon can't be returned to your opponent's hand. Literally trying to block Acerola. Obviously an important card because of
this
the
just
tag teams
says your
coming
opponent can't play Acerola.
Yeah. So that's huge. Big deal for stall decks, which is a big plus. Stopping a Lusamine loop with Acerola at the very least to stop continual heals. Now people are limited to max potions only for healing. So that is fantastic. Thank you, Mr. Mime. You're making the game less boring. Cheers for that, you big clown. Jinx is terrible. Monkey's
Primeape is Super Saiyan.
running around. Primeape's been memed all over the shop. His attacks don't do anything though. Hitmonlee has a really weird... I don't know why they've like lumped Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan to try and be a thing, but they're really not worth the payoff.
Nope.
Omanite and Omastar. Okay,
Oh,
people
God.
lost their minds over Omastar. Let's remind ourselves that we have the unidentified fossil as the current fossil mechanic to try and get these out. So essentially, you can play 4 unidentified fossils and evolve into multiple different fossil Pokemon, which we'll talk about because there's also Kabutops. So Omanite, 90 hit point stage 1, and Omastar, 130 hit point stage 2, fighting type. So people losing their minds because of good old Maxie's Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. Fossil Barrier is the ability. As long as this Pokemon is in play, if you have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent can't play any item cards from his or her hand. Yes, Item Lock is back. In some aspects, I've not actually spoken.
Standard.
I've not actually spoken to Jack about this card. What are your thoughts on it, on first impressions?
In standard, it's useless. I don't think it's good enough because of the unidentified fossil mechanic. In expanded, it's an issue. And yes, it could lead to a maxi ban, but I don't think it's as mind-boggling as everyone thinks because you have to have fewer Pokemon in play than your opponent, and you can't just maxi turn one clean without playing some form of setup. That's usually involving things like eggs that sometimes you have to put down on the bench to thin your hand down to 0. That's using sometimes draw Pokemon. So I agree that it probably will lead to a maxi ban, but it wouldn't surprise me if they actually just banned this instead, because I think maxi is a more versatile card and a more creative card, and I would prefer seeing this banned over maxi. I could also see it not leading to any bans because people are losing their minds for literally no reason. It's an obvious combo that can be very, very broken. And maybe I'm just frustrated with some of the content that's been produced today based on my opinions, but I think there's no point in speculating whether it will be banned right now. It won't be banned. I'll be very surprised if it's banned immediately anyway. But yeah. In standard, I think the card is never going to see play because I think the unidentified fossil mechanic is still very bad.
Do you think it'll never see play?
I don't think so. I think unidentified fossil is still such a weak mechanic for getting evolutions out. You're going to struggle to do this consistently turn one, I think.
I think Mark's made the right point though. It's similar to paralleling someone, and that effect alone is powerful.
Yeah,
It's like it has
that's
two
really good.
abilities. It's
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
either get paralleled or don't use items. Like it's a two like it's a win-win ability. It's not just like yeah, both outcomes are good for you. I think that's what's so powerful about
Yeah,
this.
and I think I think it's just not quite. I don't know. Maybe we'll see play in standard. I don't know. The card is obviously very good. Item lock is always very good, and the way this item lock is, like you say, it's a double-edged sword. Really, you're either locked or you have a subpar setup, and either way, neither's good.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. I think I'm naturally just a bit defensive about this card today because of
Yeah,
what's happened with it
yeah,
and
of course.
the stuff on Facebook. It's cool to see, looking at the card itself, it's cool to see rather than just Trevenant if this is active item lock or Toad, your opponent's item locked. It's cool to see creative item locks rather than
Yeah,
just your opponent is locked. Let's at least make the item locker have to because like you say, it's a parallel for whoever you're locking, but also you have to have less Pokemon than your opponent as well. So you have to manage your board state as well. So it's cool to see item lock that feels a bit more balanced than just Toad for a DCE locking.
has there ever been an unplayable item lock card? Noivern GX probably.
Luxio.
Luxio. Yeah, that's it. They've been super protective over it over the last like 2 years since Toad, pretty much.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna say I think they made Toad and then we're like, oh no, what have we done?
There was also a Houndoom which had this same effect. If you had less, if your opponent
Did that
had,
see play?
or if you had fewer Pokemon in play, your opponent can't play items. I don't know the format well enough, but I think it did. Even
Somewhat.
Who saw play. Who was
Yeah,
played
who saw
in
play?
Decidueye,
Yeah, with
early
Decidueye.
Decidueye. Kabutops has
Just sorry,
gone.
just before you go ahead, what are your thoughts on?
I could see it. I could still see it in standard.
Okay,
I don't know specifically where, and I don't like. You need to have a fairly straightforward
it's
attacker
I'm gonna
to
say
pair
it
it
is
with.
quite a hard card to place just because naturally it's
It's a lot of commitment to something that doesn't draw you cards or
yeah.
do anything else.
So you need a good simple attacker to go with it as well. Um, but yeah, fair enough, Carol.
Yeah, I don't think it'll. I don't think it's like straight into decks and like something that we all have to
Do
worry about or anything. But
you think it leads to a maxi ban?
I don't know. I don't know expanded enough. But I think you're right. I think you can't just maxi. Like you have to do lots of shamaning, leleing, stuff like that.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Okay. We need to move on before I start
Yeah.
saying things I regret.
Um, Kabutops. As long as this Pokemon is your active, your opponent can't play any supporter cards from his or her hand. This is a hilarious throwback
Wow, synergy.
to a deck that I used to, or at one point played. But good old, I think it was Great Encounters Kabutops
Awesome.
had this ability, and I tried to make a deck with it when I was about 14. It was terrible, and I loved it, and it played 3 copies of Lucian's Assignment. Um, Rock Slide is its
And
attack.
that's all you need to know about this card. It's about as bad as the old one.
Rock Slide does 80 and 20 to 2 of your opponent's bench, so it got a damage buff from the Great Encounters Kabutops by 10 hit. Oh, it's Majestic Dawn. 10 hit points, 10 damage, and 10 damage on the bench snipes. And it is now a fighting type rather than a color. And oh no, it was always fighting type. What am I saying?
Yeah, it's a smart thing.
Um,
Hell yeah.
um,
Power creep must be good, right?
well, supporter lock is really good.
Supporter lock is really good.
We're in an unfortunate case where we have Zeb Striker, Zoroark, and Swampert. Lots of abilities.
I was gonna say this. So there's like turn one supporters, then there's like four Cynthias, and the rest of people's decks is Guzmas and
Orangaroos.
Acerolas
Yeah, that's the
and
thing.
draw Pokemon. So They can still draw into their choice bands and their healing cards and their energy without actually needing to use supporters.
If you can, if you can support this somehow, maybe you're not attacking with it. Maybe it's just something that you like somehow cheese out and like pivot around.
Yeah.
Or if you just play like how we saw Executor, basically, you don't need to be doing much if people are actually locked by supporters.
Yeah, I mean, Executor did 10 damage, so
Yeah.
like you could even find a way of um dealing status conditions because people can't Ace Roller and Guzma out of
Uh
them.
huh.
So that's something that I think like Rock Slide is just never viable, right? So, or not never viable, but never optimal. But I could see it being the front of a special condition deck because people can't get out of
Yeah. You're just
a special
hoping.
condition.
You're just hoping that they're literally doing nothing. That's basically what you're trying to do. But
Yeah,
as we say, I think because our supporter pool is so poor right now, everyone's playing ability-based engines.
yeah.
So that's what I would say. We have Latias Latios GX. 250 hit point basic dragon GX. So I've won a bet with Nicholas Pierce, which is great. Um,
What was this? What was the bet?
well, I said, oh, is it going to be dragon or psychic? And because the sleeves of Internats had them in purple backgrounds, he was like, Joe, it's obviously psychic.
Hmm.
Duh. And I was
Hmm.
like, I don't know about that. But anyway. 240 damage for water, psychic, colorless. And you discard 3 from this Pokemon. Pretty expensive. How do we power this up? A lot of questions
Well,
going on in my head. How do you power it up, Jack, in your head?
with, with the GX attack and a couple of shuckles.
Excellent. Aero Unit GX for a Psychic. Attach 5
Absolute unit.
basic energy from your discard pile to your Pokemon in any way that you like. If this Pokemon has at least 1 extra energy attached to it, prevent all effective attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. So, it's, Turtonator / Zeraora's GX attack, but for all basic energy cards. Oh boy, some bits in a long thing. Oh, I'll read that later.
They basically wanted them to be legends rather than one card, like 2 cards rather than 1 card.
Oh, it's right there. Yeah, I've only just seen it. Okay. Yeah. Um, so yeah, giving yourself that immunity, so you're effectively not wasting a turn, other than the fact that they can Guzma and attack other stuff. And I feel like it's not enough acceleration. Like you still need more acceleration on top of that. Like chaining 240s is really hard.
The only way, the one thing I see about this though is
That's what I was gonna
like
say. Amphi.
this is your early game acceleration, and then your late game acceleration can be like this is your turn 1 2 acceleration while you're setting up your more reliable acceleration for the mid to late game.
But you have
So it
Lunala Prison
means
Star anyway for that, right?
yeah. I mean, I don't think the card's very good, so
Yeah.
I'm just being devil's
Trying to
advocate.
fight its
Yeah, like
Uh,
this is a really cool attacker and cool. I really like the GX attack. It's just a shame that it's slightly underwhelming.
mhm.
But I like being able to go into a Latios and be like, right, I'm protected and I'm setting up stuff on the bench, or I'm protected and I'm attaching 3 energy, so you then can't deal with the 240 that's coming your way next turn.
Yeah, sure.
But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
unfortunately, I
think
think
it's
it's
Bulkington.
it's also weak to Fairy,
Weak
and
to
Ninetales
Fairy.
is a good card.
Yikes. Alolan Exeggutor, 160 hit point dragon,
Look,
stage
look
1.
at this art.
Look at those little
Look at
executes.
it. It's incredible.
Eggs Paradise Draw for a for no energy. Draw cards from your deck until you have 6 in your hand. Before drawing, you may discard any number of cards from your hand. So it's a sightseer effect in an attack for free. This could be nice in all sorts of decks. Well, not really.
Mm.
Egg drop For a grass colorless, discard any number of execute in your hand. This does 60 for each discarded in this way. So there's the expanded meme deck where you lance Prism Star 2 of these boys down and you just propagate and do
To
shed
be
loads
fair,
of damage.
these things never die because they also have 4 retreat.
Oh yes. So how much is the buff? Is it plus
210.
50? Yeah.
Yeah, these things
Two
have 210
210 HP non-GXs that you lance out
and can counter energy too.
and can counter energy and can do 240 damage.
Oh, and expanded, you've got DDE anyway.
Yeah, DD as well.
Damn, I've got DDE as a card.
This is hilarious and expanded. Truthfully hilarious.
I actually don't think this is that bad in expanded.
Hit your
Seems
lance.
seems fun.
Don't get Alolan mucked. Easy. Or garbed.
You can also run Altaria package as well. So even if you need to actually evolve your executes, you can still hit numbers because you can have like a thin Altaria line. I mean, it's a meme, but
Yeah. Fully.
it's a fun one.
Okay.
This Dratini looks fat. Tell me this Dratini isn't fat.
It's a little bit
Look
chunky.
at it. Oh.
A little bit close up for it. That's like when you're when you accidentally click on
Yeah, front camera.
front camera.
The second one's the Photoshop shoot. The
Yeah.
first one's just crumbs.
That's your Instagram. Dratini is 70 hit points. Prevent all effects of attacks.
Not fat, it's thick.
Yeah, prevent all of the effects of attacks of your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah, okay, whatever. Dragonite, very interesting, cool card as well. 160 hit point, stage 2. Dragon type Pokemon. Fast call. Once during a turn, you may select your deck for a supporter, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Now, we have Tapu Lele GX. There's obviously big downsides of using Tapu Lele. It's oftentimes the win condition for opponents to close a game. This is a non-GX. It's also a Dragon type, so it's lanceable. So I imagine this goes in instantly as a one-of in Dragon decks. And do we think it's anything more than that, Jack? Do you think we'll ever be squeezing in a Lance package into other decks just to have this and like another stage 2 Dragon type?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Don't think so.
I think this card is good for exactly Lance decks, like you say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I think Lele is just way more consistent.
Yeah. Okay.
So in every other scenario, yes, Lele is a loss condition, but at the same time, it's also a win condition, and it's a win condition that's more immediate than Dragonite, because Dragonite you don't get immediate benefit from, and Lele is also not a good attacker. Lele is also an attacker. There's obviously pros and cons to both, but I think ultimately this is a very flashy card for everything other than Dragon decks that are playing the Lance engine. For Lance engine decks, this is really good.
Yeah, really insane for Lance.
Unfortunately, we haven't seen a Lance deck yet. I think that's inherently just because Lance is only ever going to be a one-off, which means that the whole engine in general is not too consistent. But it's still... Lance is still such a good card. I still feel like we're in the Lance waiting room. We're just waiting for the right dragons, and this is definitely a piece of the puzzle. This is your consistency dragon. We have damage boosting dragons in Altaria. We genuinely just need some good attacking dragons that aren't these stupid 3 different colors of energy for one damage, 10 damage. Garbage.
Yeah, really good ability. It's essentially Staraptor FB level X.
Whatever that card did, I agree.
That ability.
I actually have one.
On free retreat as well. Busted.
Oh,
right. Eevee and Snorlax GX. 270 hit point. Basic. Also weak to fighting. Does have that big 4 retreat cost, which is actually sometimes helpful. Dragonite Felicia for super boost. Oh man, people are they're getting it already. Unreal. Cheer on for colorless. Attach an energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. That's just so meh. Drum Truck Press for 4 colorless.
Dump.
Oh, sorry, dump, not drum. I was looking at the R in truck. Tuck rump. Sorry.
Stop.
Uh, 120 damage. If your opponent's active is an evolution Pokemon, this does 120 more damage. 240 for 4 colorless is not bad at all, to be fair. I could see this being, again, Marshadow. Throw me in the bin. Blow stuff up. Megaton Frenzy GX for 4 colorless does 210. If it has an extra energy attached to it, draw until you have 10 cards in your hand. That is a Tempest GX whilst taking 2 prize cards. Which sounds very good. Is this the big payoff
It is
that
5
Malamar
energy, though.
needed?
I actually think this is a really, really good GX stack for Malamar.
Mm-hmm.
Because
it's lack card draw for a while.
It's lack card draw for a while, and the other two are really situational. We have Black Ray, which is useless in some matchups completely, and sometimes they can just heal it off, or 100 for everything isn't not taking 2 prizes immediately that turn, so it's technically doing nothing. And we have Dawn Wings, where sometimes you're just ahead. And if you're ahead, that sounds great, and you don't want to use your GX attack, but at the same time, GX attacks are there to be used, and you don't want to be like, oh, well, guess I got to go behind just to get a Dawn Wings off. This is a GX attack that you can use while you're ahead, and still takes 2 prizes, and wins you the game next turn because you've drawn up to 10 cards.
Mm-hmm.
So I actually think this is a really nice. I think, whereas in Gascan in the past we've seen like counts of 1 to 2 Necrozma and 1 to 2 Black Ray, and 1 to 2 Dawn Wings, they've kind of both gone down to a 1 now, I guess. But I can see this being another one of these one-off GXs. One Black Ray for certain matchups because it is game winning, but sometimes it's just useless. One Dawn Wings because again it is game winning, but sometimes it's just useless. Or one of these just because sometimes 210 plus drawing 10 cards means that they have to judge you and then find a knockout at the same time, and they just can't do that sometimes. You can also copy this with Marshadow and have this as an attacker as well. So this is a 270 HP attacker.
That's what's so insane.
It's
you
fighting
don't remove
weak,
energy off
which
yourself either.
Yeah, and it's also fighting weak, which you just don't care about, because the only thing that you're bothered about is a Lycanroc, and we have ways of dealing with a Lycanroc in that deck anyway. So all of the Buzzwolves you see, you can respond with a Deoxys with 3 energy, and you're like, well, I have my 1 prize answer. So, this is a really, really nice card for Malamar.
Yeah, I think this is really
fills
good.
a lot of holes.
I think it's just good, and the fact that it's all colorless as well, all energy accelerators. I think it's genuinely. I think this and the Zekrom Pika are the 2 best. I think Gengar's interesting.
They're 2 very fair. I feel like Gengar is the one that could be broken the most, but also could be as underwhelming as the others. Whereas these 2 feel like they'd be just good enough to be fair and probably C play. Not broken tier 1, but not sad when you pull them.
Yeah, very, very cool. Definitely worth picking up.
Yeah.
Pidgey can draw you a card. Pidgeotto is a bit of a PogChamp. I love this card.
PogChampioto.
60 hit point stage 1.
I'm tired, man.
Ability is Airmail. Once during your turn, you may look at the top 2 cards of your deck, choose one of them, put it into your hand, put the other on the bottom of your deck. Now, again, it's one of these sad things where this card would have seen play in different formats, but we are so spoiled for abilities such as these that I think it might not. I think one good thing is that we have Ditto, and this could turn Ditto from a 40 hit point to a 60 hit point Pokemon.
Oh my god.
And give you a nice draw engine. I know a lot of people are sort of trying out Zebra in Ditto, but only a handful of decks can start doing that. I think Pidgeotto is more universal because there's never a downside to the card. You're always digging deeper, and you're always able to. You're not getting rid of stuff. So it is Uxie level X's ability, of course. The Pokedex every turn, and I just really like it. I think it's a extra Ditto question mark card that we could start thinking about putting in our decks.
You're gonna say I actually really like this card. I think it will see play. And it's a very, very small category where it will see play. It'll be like 1 or 2 decks for its whole lifetime. But I think it fits the category really well, which is an Elm deck that isn't playing Ninetales and isn't playing Zoroark or Swampert, which is a very, very niche category. But like it fits so perfectly.
Elmable is
Um,
busted.
it's it's elmable, it's dittoable, and it's not. You don't need to play. It's not like Zoroark where it's an attacker as well, or you need to have multiple out to get good use. Sometimes just one is going to be enough. I feel like, um, yeah, it's just I don't know. I think the ability is really nice, and I think it will see play. Like I say, the category is really niche. Maybe it actually will be better than that, and it will see more play than that. Maybe it will be worse than that, and you just won't see play at all. But I think the ability is really, really strong. And with Elm in the format, I find it hard to believe that this won't be good.
True. Pidgeot, a lot less interesting.
Yeah.
Um, Persian does have an interesting attack.
Nickname Hugh.
It's stage 1, teach a lesson. 20, if your opponent has more than 4 cards in their hand, look at their hand and discard cards until there are 4. This is insane because you get to take away the good ones
Yes,
and leave
that's
them with a bad
crazy.
hand. Um, and of course, it can be very frustrating against Zoroark decks and Mill decks, Unknown Hand decks. This could be fun. Could be a fun stage 1. Colorless as well, so if you're a Ditto deck and you need to improve a matchup, could be a good way to do it. But yeah, do it after a Tempest. Yeah, there are definitely some times when it's going to be good for you. I think overall won't see a lot of play, but Ditto makes these sorts of cards less just cool, but we'll never see it. Now it's like cool.
Yeah.
I'll put one in the back of my binder because there's that maybe time.
On the Ditto page.
Yeah, yeah.
This is officially on the Ditto
The
page.
7 Ditto pages
Yeah.
that you've committed.
I I actually really like this card as a cold check to like mill stuff.
Mm.
So because you can just yes, they can always Lusamine loop and loop certain stuff, but some things like they just can't get back, and you can get to the point where they just can't get 35 cards in their hand anymore. You can get rid of some really really nice little bits and bobs with this. So yeah, it's a Ditto card, but maybe if mill is tier 1, you have an answer.
So next we've got a really awesome side-up card, which has an ugly bird in front of it. Does nothing. Well, it doesn't do nothing actually. It's 20 before doing damage. Discard all tools attached to the opponent's active. If you
One for
discarded
90
any,
is
70 more.
pretty poor.
Getting rid of the item. Sorry, getting rid of the tool first can get around like spell tag and some stuff. So colorless for 90. Not the worst, especially it's like a Mimikyu in that you can just lead it and collect to draw 2.
Yeah.
It's not the worst. It's probably
I just don't know
not
what
good enough to see play, but
they're going to say.
it's
I just
not
don't
the
know where it
worst.
goes. Is my
Yeah.
issue. It's the attack is really cool and it's a draw Pokemon, but also I don't know what the hell you put this in. So,
Yeah.
but it's
Kangas-
colorless. So it has the
yeah.
potential.
Kangaskhan searches for evolutions, straight to hand. It's just a worse beacon, but more hit points, I guess.
Raging Herd.
10 for each damage counter on all your Tauros, including Taurus GX, in play. So let's play 4/4 Taurus GX, non-GX, Shrine, Rainbow. I don't know what else. Hurt ourselves. Deck.
And we lose. Cool. Next.
Lose the game. Aerodactyl. Interesting
Artwork
stage 1
appreciation. Hello.
for Aerodactyl.
Yeah, I think this art is really cool.
Oh, it looks so computer generated. Doesn't look realistic.
I like it. Anyway,
Stage 1, obviously evolving from Fossil. For 3 colorless, it does 90. If you have no GX or EX on your bench, 90 more damage. 180 for 3 is not that bad. It's not a huge payoff, and I think ultimately the payoff's not good enough because it's a Fossil.
yeah.
Um,
I was about to say something very, very dumb there.
what were you going to say?
Why not use this in Malamar with Marshadow GX? But it means you can have one Marshadow exactly in the active, and that's it. Garbage. Next.
Marshall can only copy basics.
Even worse. Look at that. Incredible.
Judge's whistle. You can either draw a card or put a judge from your discard pile into your hand. So it's a VS Seeker for exactly judge.
Mark, VS Seeker's back.
Is this enough of a payoff? We've had Looker's whistle. Obviously, it's not done enough to push Looker.
Somehow, don't know how.
Judge is obviously a better card.
Yes.
Is this going to see play?
No, because we have Power Pad.
This goes straight to hand.
It does, but I think... no, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I can see the argument for running this over Power Pad in a deck with more than one judge. But I don't think it's good enough.
I think this card is better than you're saying. I think because it's like there are just those games where you need to disrupt them, and it's like an extra copy that can just, when you're in the bad spots,
Be a judge.
you just be a judge, and when you're in the good spots, you can just draw a card.
Okay.
It feels like it's better than, like, you never need to play 4 judge now. Now you can play like 2 judge and 1 of these, or like 2 judge and two of these, and you have the potential.
Oh yeah, I think you play this over multiple judge, or
Yeah.
at least over the third judge, sure.
Mhm.
But I haven't this format even still, which maybe is my mistake, I don't know, but I haven't played a deck with more than 2 judge yet.
Yeah.
And I'd rather just a physical judge than a judge's whistle. So
Play a
maybe that's
56
just because
card.
I haven't seen the use of it yet.
Yeah, it's more cycle. It's draw.
I'm going to say the fact that it's cycle is also not awful, but yeah, I don't think it's great. It's fine.
It's part of our
It's
turbo
the best I can
decks.
say. It's just fine.
Very low
And
impact though.
if fine is good enough, then it'll see play in those specific spots, like you say, where you just need to
You could play
be
like 4
judging
of
them
these.
every time.
Yeah, you could play like 1 judge and 4 of these in like a turbo Ray deck or something.
Yeah.
Could be funny. Pokemon communication. Get the pogs in the chat,
Oh my
please.
God.
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
It's so weird that this card didn't. Oh, Karen, probably tell me.
I was just gonna read the card. Just go.
Yeah, do it.
Reveal a Pokemon from your hand. Put it on top of your deck. Search your deck for a Pokemon and put it into your hand.
Poggers. So it's really weird that this card didn't see too much play right before it rotated out, and now we just want it. But that's probably because of how bad our Pokemon search is right now.
Yes.
This card is so exciting. It means I can actually bonfire my timer balls, which is they are literal kindling. I cannot wait to be able to play this card.
Poggers champ. Someone's already said it in chat as well. It's a huge card for Lost March. Jump Bluff. Get out of my hand. Get me that Skip Plume. Get that Jump Bluff back out. 40 damage. Fabulous. Every Zoro deck. Unreal. Just makes Elm an even better card. It makes Elm an even better card like throughout the game because you can just Pokecom. And the thing is, we have so many important Stage 1 and 2 Pokemon for your own engines that it's gonna really make things a lot easier.
The other thing is
Tails, which gets you, like all the other stuff.
The other thing is with Ditto plus this, you can play like your random 1 Persians are so much better at it as well.
Yeah.
You can play your 1-off Persian, and it doesn't matter that you didn't draw it because all of your Pokemon are Persian now. This is really I'm so happy we've got this back.
Incredible card.
This might be my favorite card of the set, just because consistency is king. Future Stage 2 decks, yeah. It's just such a consistency king. I love it.
Insane. Muscle Pad. If the Pokemon this card is attached to has a retreat cost of 4 colorless, its maximum hit points is increased by 50.
Oh, good.
Oh, big stuff. Big.
Got bigger.
Okay. I mean, it competes with Choice Helmet, and I think overall it competes quite well.
350 is a big number.
Yeah. Good. Good. That's just going to be played in tanky, big old decks. Erica's Hospitality, another absolute Pog champion. Draw a number of cards up to the number of your opponent's Pokemon in play. But you can't play it if you have more than 6 in your hand. But, you know, that's a lot of card draw. It's worse than a How on probably turn 1 only. And usually getting you like 4 or 5 cards. Obviously worse than Steven's advice from back in the day, but I still think this has a chance of seeing play because our support is so weak.
I completely agree. I think this is easily a 2 of in a lot of decks. Cynthia is obviously usually going to be not better, but still very good. But I can see like decks that play 4 Cynthia now. I can see going down to 3 Cynthia and 2 of these and finding a slot somewhere because sometimes you have all but 1 piece and you're like, well, I don't want to shuffle these 3 pieces away and hope that I get all 4 from the Cynthia. Oh, I'll just draw 6 cards instead.
Notably makes Copycat potentially better as well if more people are playing this.
Yeah. Any draw support I'm happy with.
Yep. Brock's Grit is also back. Shuffle 6 in any combination of Pokemon and Basic Energy.
Oh my god, I'm so happy we've got recovery back.
Why?
I can throw my resources away. This is fine.
We have recovery. We have energy recycle system and stretcher.
We do, but they're not super rods, so I'm sad.
This is both.
Busted.
Incredible. Bill's Analysis. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck. Reveal 2 trainer cards you find there and put them into your hand. Then shuffle the other cards back into your deck.
Big boy trainers mail.
Big daddy trainers mail. Yeah. Obviously we have Ninetales, so people like when I first saw this revealed, everyone was like, "Ugh, just play Ninetales." But obviously you don't have to play Ninetales and everything. I think this is pretty reasonable, to be fair. I think it could be like a Buzzwole card where it helps you find B strings. Similar for Blacephalon, could just help you find B strings, which is very reasonable. It can be helping you find ball search cards in the early game. It's like when you're going for a turn 1 Lily, you're just looking for like ball search a lot of the time, which is really weird.
Ball search plus supporter, yeah. And this searches for both.
This could do that. Also, it's nice for picking pieces like if you're playing double custom catcher, this could help do stuff like that. So I can see it being a buzz card. I can see it being... It's
trainers as well, so it's not just items. So it does get supports and stuff. So the only thing...
It feels better than... It's basically a better version of Volkner, right? That's what it feels like.
Yeah, I think the only thing that not concerns me, but the only thing that makes me think about this card is, yes, we have... I'm not a huge fan of it simply because we have a really bad supporter pool right now, but the supporters we do have do something broken like Acerola or Guzma, and I feel like we can usually be doing something broken with a supporter rather than just looking for 2 items. Now, sometimes getting the 2, sometimes getting the 2 B strings is broken. I'd say getting 2 B strings is pretty broken, but sometimes I think you're just going to look at this and be like, well, why isn't this the 4th Guzma? I think you need to be having a very, very good turn anyway to then be playing this, unless you're playing it exclusively as a tutor for B strings or that kind of thing. So I'm not
top 7 though. Let's get that out there.
Yeah, I'm actually not blown away by the card at all.
No. I'm not saying it's strong. I'm just saying that's where we place it, if anywhere.
Yeah. Even though our supporter pool is dry right now, I think we usually have better options than it.
Man, they have so many supporters in this set. Sabrina's Suggestion. Your opponent reveals their hand. You may choose a supporter card you find there and use its effect as this card's effect. Holy, that is terrible.
So bad.
Terrible.
So bad.
That is portrait, but you're using your supporter.
Mm.
Wow. If they don't have a supporter, you don't have a supporter, and they'll have supporters that specifically synergize with their deck and not yours. Oh
There you
dear.
go. Oh,
That's
I guess I'm doing nothing this round.
yeah.
Um, yeah, this card is awful.
Once during each player's turn, that player may look at their opponent's hand. Oh wow. We can scout people out pre Skullgrunt in mill decks or something like that. Maybe that's interesting.
I think this
If
is
you have
maybe
Lucid,
a one of in mill, but
yeah.
yeah,
If you have Lucid Loop, you can play it as a one of.
yeah.
Interesting. Viridian Forest. Once during each player's turn, that player may discard a card from their hand. If they do, they may search their deck for a basic energy, reveal it, and put it into their hand. That's a pretty reasonable stadium for sure. I don't mind this in, obviously, synergy lovers like Malamar and Blacephalon. Obviously, Blacephalon is already spoilt for choice of stadiums, but Malamar isn't spoilt for choice. This could be a couple copies in that deck.
You can also discard an energy to search for an energy to then treasure. It's
No,
like thinning an energy.
it's like an Oricorio.
I reckon.
People played Oricorio.
Yeah. I think this is fine, and it's only fine, but it will probably see play in synergy decks.
Yeah, good synergy
Ta-da.
lover.
Yeah,
It's good deck thinning
yeah.
strats.
Finally, look at some of these reprint arts.
Field blower with an escape board and a frying pan, a
Policy and a
choice band
band.
and a policy. That's a weakness policy. That's great. Get rid of them at pace.
Yeah,
You got Aqua Patch, which seems to be
aqua patches that are in a box.
it's like a cereal bar. Like what's going on?
Oh no, I saw them as like patches you iron onto like jackets.
But why is there a
Like those.
box?
That's what the boxes came in. That's what the patches came in.
That's so weird.
Yes,
Um,
very.
Sad boys. Everyone's gonna be able to get themselves a Primate choice
That's
band.
so silly, I think.
I mean, it's cool that everyone can have them, but it's kind of a slap in the face for the exclusivity of it.
Yep.
And we have a nice Volkner
Randomly in the Kanto set. Why not?
reprint.
Reprint City. So yeah.
Because he's the 4/5 cargo, that's why. You know, he doesn't. Overall, couple good tag teams. I think Zekrom
Easing
and
us in
Snorlax
gently.
looks good. I
Easing
think
us in
Gengar
gently.
has potential. I think there wasn't too many other big old things that we need to look out for. A couple interesting non-GXs like Nidoqueen. I'll try Articuno, obviously. What else was there? There's the
Nidoqueen is one of my big
fossils.
winners. Yeah, Nidoqueen's one of my big winners. I like Nidoqueen.
I want to try some Dragonite Lance stuff, obviously. Obs. Judge's Whistle, I think, is a potentially big card. Pokemon Communication is just the biggest card for the game possible, I think. And some interesting supporter cards that will, again, be worth experimenting with. So, yeah, we've gone on long enough for today, I think. That was a good chat about Tag Bolt. Moltres Mill, don't forget that. I think that's Kiawe turn 1, Mill 4. Busted. Yeah, that'll be it for today, guys. Back on Wednesday for some pre-Harrogate testing. Yikes, I've wasted another day not actually testing real decks. I can't believe it. How does this keep happening to me? But yeah, we'll eventually get our heads around it. Is there anything else we're doing on Wednesday, Jack?
Not that I want to say on stream yet because I don't want to commit to anything, but I may have an idea.
Excellent news.
Well, yeah. Anyway, see you on Wednesday.
Right, I guess that's the end then. Cheers.